countdown, but my name is Kategazero. Well, my friends call me Cat, and you can too.
Yes,
we are here today for Weeb Wednesday with Val.
Yes, we forgot the countdown. And as you can see...
I just hit the button and just like immediately froze in my seat like, oh, fuck. I don't even have time to tell you I did the countdown either.
Yup. I was just like...
Anyway,
nope.
we're here. Hello.
Yes, more Weeb Wednesday. So, to start, yes, I've got hair bones now.
Oh, yeah, hair bones. Let's see. Oh, fuck yeah. That's great. That's good shit right there.
Yeah, it's the good stuff. So, got that sorted.
It always, like, stuns me when I go to play old games, and, like, I play, like, Neverwinter Nights, the first game, for example, and it has hair bones, which is just sort of, like, ridiculous to me, because that game came out in, like, fucking 2001 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It was, like, one of the first, like, 3D CRPGs, like, ever, and it has hair bones.
Yep, because... It's one of those.
Okay, I was a year off.
Yeah, it's one of those things we want to move naturally to make someone not look like they're wearing a plastic headpiece.
Yeah, and it's like double fucked up because Neverwinter Nights 2 does not have hair bones.
Okay, that's a bit fucky, yes.
Like it's functionally better in every way visually, except for the fact that it doesn't have hair bones for some reason. I don't get it.
Yeah, that is quite odd.
I think it's partially because like they didn't really need them on the base hairstyles because it does a similar thing as to Dragon Age Origins where like all the base hairstyles are just like these really short hairstyles, you know? But in Neverwinter Nights 1, you can actually have hair like loose and falling over your shoulders, so it'll actually like move around when you do.
Gotcha.
So what have you been up to for the last week since we haven't actually like I haven't streamed either since Wednesday, but like how you been? What you been up to?
I haven't been up to too much that we're not going to get into for the talkie bit.
Fair enough.
You know, it's mostly been like there will be spoilers for Speedrun Isekai for you folks.
Yeah, which I can never remember the actual name of. Like I always try to whenever I'm trying to find it again, I always type in like Speedrun Isekai, and then like it doesn't show up and I'm just like surprised to get you face.
But RTA will probably get it to you. Yeah, so RTA Speedrun Isekai. Yeah, it gives you some results, so you can look for it.
You just sent me like the name earlier.
Yeah, because it's RTA, Soshowa, Game, Sekai, Karanai.
Some shit. Who fucking knows? Not me. I don't speak Japanese.
But yeah,
I speak like an eighth of the language, and that's it.
Yeah, RTA Speedrun Isekai, and you'll get it. Where you'll get close enough.
Phoenix! Silence, my son! No! I gave you plenty of attention before the stream. God damn it.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Apparently not. Anyhow, believe it or not, everyone, and this is going to be very out of character for me, but I'm actually playing fucking Skyrim again for once. I haven't done this in like literally 5 years. It's like it'd be one thing, right, if they didn't do the special edition, anniversary edition, like all these updates constantly. That you have to buy, by the way. Like it'd be one thing if it was like free updates and bug fixes and not like purchased upgrades. Because like as much as I hate Bethesda, like I already own Skyrim, right? So I'm not giving them any extra money by playing it. But then like they just keep coming out with like, oh yeah, anniversary edition upgrade. It's like, What does
Yeah.
that give me, though? Bug fixes? Oh, you mean that thing that I should have for free? Cool. Fuck you too.
Yeah, absolutely. Just yeah,
God
updated
damn it.
graphics.
You mean that
Still,
thing that I should have for free? It's like, I already bought the fucking game and all your goddamn expansions.
yeah. But it's because Bethesda has been drained of talent, and now it is just corporate.
Todd, it just works, Howard.
Yeah, now it's just Todd. Because, like,
It's just
I'm
Todd
not
in charge of
saying
everything.
that people
God
who
damn it.
work for Bethesda were bad. I mean, literally, they've left the company.
Yeah. It's fucking gods. Anyway, like the reason why I'm playing Skyrim for once is because, believe it or not, Skyrim with mods for your fucking vampire shit is the best vampire shit you're gonna get outside of like Bloodlines and goddamn Vampire.
Yeah, and that's
And
a
it pisses me
vampire with
off.
a vampire with a Y.
Yes, it's pronounced the same way. Don't let anyone lie to you.
Yes.
There's a reason why we pronounce it and spell it vampire the way that we do in English. It's because it's the same word, just translated into English lettering, so people know how to spell it.
Yeah, it's like a pyre.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that's not the original word, but yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah, but it's the same like shift that occurred.
Ow, fuck. Just skinned my knuckle on my desk. I'm sorry.
That'll happen.
Anyhow, yeah, it's fucking. It's like the only thing that I don't like about Vampire, by the way, the game, I think it's 2018, is that you can't customize your character. Because
Yeah.
Dr. Jonathan Reed is cool, don't get me wrong, but he's not that fucking cool.
Yeah, he's certainly, especially for your tastes, like he's not
just a dude.
he's not Geralt cool.
Yeah,
But-
he's
but-
not Geralt cool. He's not
Velvet.
Yeah, he's not Velvet. He's not Geralt. He's like, come on. Even Velvet barely makes my fucking standards for like how cool a character has to be before I'll play them in a video game.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of braced the wheels on that.
Yeah, like, and honestly, my big problem with Velvet is that she doesn't ever actually fucking wear clothes.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, girl, you're in the fucking like the frozen Northland.
Like,
of
I
your
understand
setting.
you
Please
don't.
just wear actual clothes. I know you can't tell that it's cold, but to blend in, please just wear clothes. Oh my god!
At least wear a coat on top. By the gods.
Please, because like if I were a paranoid townsperson, like scared and propagandized against demons and shit like that,
I would
as
be
soon
pointing
as I
it
saw Velvet rolling around, I'll be like, "Hey, you're a demon, aren't you?
at the very least. And I don't
Then
mean
how do
this
you
to
not
be.
have frostbite right now?"
I mean, first off, frostbite. Second off, like, even if she doesn't get mistaken for a demon, she'd get mistaken for something else that would get her attention that she doesn't want.
Yeah, just fucking please, come on. I'm begging you.
And not that you should usually care about that kind of thing, where, be you, do what you do, but also she's on a mission to kill a head of state.
Yeah, you should not be roaming around like the nobles' quarters looking like that. Like, don't go to fucking like uptown wearing that if you don't want attention from the cops.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Dress for the place that you're going to, please.
Do as you do, be you, but if you're trying to kill a noble, blend in. Eat the rich, and eat the rich smart.
Exactly. Like, I'm 100% down with eating the rich, but like, you gotta look the part, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, in Velvet's case, I mean, kind of literal.
You literally eat the rich, yeah. It's a non-standard kind of eating, but it's definitely eating.
Yep. Demon
It's
hand.
not the sexy kind either. Don't look at me like that. That's a 16-year-old. I'm not making those jokes about that.
Yeah, I mean, first off that.
Was she actually 16 when you were playing the game? I don't remember. I just remember at one point she was 16.
Yes. Yes, she was
Does that
16.
mean she was like fucking 13 or 14 when she got imprisoned? Damn.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I
It's
think
been
that's
like 2 or
what
3
it
years,
is.
so.
Yeah.
I was like, let me pop open Steam again and check how long it's been since I played the game.
Oh no, it was 16, and then she's in the prologue, and then 19.
Okay. In that case, yeah, I'll make that joke then.
Yeah, no, they just do the
I
whole.
would still like personally not be attracted to that because that's too young for me. But
Yeah, but also
that's
like
because I'm fucking 30.
yeah, like you're an adult. I'm not gonna infantilize you either.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
But yeah, they just do the whole thing of, oh, you're too young to drink, despite the fact we're demons and outlaws and witches.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Come on. Ooh, Chrono Sword just got a huge update. Excellent.
Excellent, yes.
I queue that up for after the stream. For
Yeah.
those of you who don't remember, Chrono Sword is one of the only games I've ever backed on Kickstarter. So it has a 600 megabyte update, and I'm just like, yeah, boy, let's go.
Ooh, very nice indeed. But yes, I am very happy with my avatar though. Yeah, the arms are doing their own thing though, so I'll probably turn off the arm tracking again.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Eventually, I will have a dedicated device for the hand tracking.
Yeah, if your character was like mine, you could just say that they have a mind of their own. But
I mean, they could still kind of, I guess.
yeah. Anyhow, like over the yesterday, I think it was, I discovered that there were 2 planned expansion packs for Bloodlines, and then 2 planned sequel games that never got off the ground because Troika fucking dissolved.
Yeah.
And like I could feel my soul leaving my body to drift along the desert winds when I heard that.
Yeah.
This is, god damn it.
Just gone too soon.
If anyone wants to hear more about that, Timothy Kane, one of the developers on the game, actually has a YouTube channel where he talks about it. So just search up Timothy Kane YouTube and you'll find it. Uh,
Yeah, and I am genuinely looking back at like my Discord history, and I can't really find anything I've actually been doing other than the speedrun isekai manga that I just shotgunned. Like I had seen the opening chapters before, but hadn't caught up until recently.
yeah, I read a few Korean comics,
Mm-hmm.
including a gay one that I sent you. That
Oh
was
yes, I remember that
woefully
one.
short but very good anyway. It was a period piece. I think
Mm-hmm.
it takes place in like either Denmark or Sweden. I don't remember, one of the two. But that was also very good. It's called Ghosts of Grey Woods for anyone wondering. I think there's an official translation, so you can go check that. I can't really talk about that one without spoiling it any. So
Yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about a lot of this stuff.
I can say that it's maid and noble lady gay. So there's that. If you're into that, you can go check that out. If you're not into that, you can avoid it. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I know inherent power imbalance and all that shit, but also they're cute gay girls.
Yeah, like, inherent power imbalance, but it's also fiction, and that's kind of hot.
Yeah, depending on who you are. Yeah.
All right, so
Trigger warning for that one, actually, or content warning rather. That's heavy themes of abuse. So
oh yeah, definitely.
that's important.
Yep, that is important.
Sometimes that shit is like couched so well into the thing that I can't actually warn someone about it without fucking like spoiling it. But that one I can't warn people.
Yeah, it's another one of those. It's like the Umineko content warnings. It's really hard to give those because they do contain spoilers, but also, you know, if you want to be safe and you have triggers for bad things people do to each other, you kind of have to check the content warnings. Which hopefully we will do Umineko tomorrow. We'll see.
Hopefully.
All right, so speedrun Isekai to start because it's the odd one out being a manga.
Yeah, that's fair.
I very much enjoyed it. It's if you've never read it, since this is our first time talking about it, a speedrunner, like a world record speedrunner, dreams, or at least thinks he's dreaming, about being in the world of his favorite game, which is another verse, I think.
Yeah, I just know that they refer to it in the story as Anverse.
Yes, I believe it is another verse because it is isekai based. And he very much uses speedrun glitches that will be familiar to people who've seen speedruns for things such as Ocarina of Time or
like wrong warps, fucking animation
Souls.
glitches, moveset swaps, even.
Yeah, moveset swaps.
Buff stacking, shit like that you're not supposed to be able to do, but you can do anyway if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and it's very much a mix of glitches from different genres, because some of those things are more existent in turn-based things, like the throwing money thing.
Although I could conceive of a way for that to work in a real-time game.
Oh yeah, you could absolutely do it.
Because like Dark Souls 2 had spells that used your souls.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you could totally do it.
Yeah, there are ways to do it. Anyway, he uses the glitches and defeats the Demon King in an any percent run, but then realizes, oh, I am actually in this world, and these are people.
Yeah, which is a problem.
Yeah, which is a problem because can't get home because glitches. Stopping the is she queen or princess at this point?
Princess.
She is.
I'm pretty sure she's princess.
Okay. Well, yeah, because it's Ada Hime. So yeah. Ada had disguised herself, and apparently that also cloaks her magic or uses her mana in that form. So she can't just use the spell to send him home. Not to mention, he needs to clean up everything else the Demon Lord did. Otherwise, he hasn't really saved the world to begin with. He's just dealt.
He just stopped it from getting worse.
Yeah, he's just dealt a very decisive blow. And even then, like, we see what the demon generals are capable of. And, like...
It's always interesting to me.
Yeah.
Just like a sidebar here. It's always interesting to me, like in these manga and anime and like the games and all that shit, where the demon generals aren't actually really generals, they're more like champions. Yes, they do lead the demons, but it's also like they're not very good at it. They're mostly good at like punching dudes real hard.
Yeah, they're not really leaders of men or leaders of demons in this case. They are just the four strongest motherfuckers he could gather together.
that that are willing to listen to the Demon Lord and all that shit, which is fine and fair and everything, but like call those guys like champions, or like Demon Lord 2099 does, and call them the Dark Peers, as in like they're roughly peers with the Dark Lord.
So
which I think that's a great way of doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the Dark Peers as a title. So basically, now he's got to take in the fact, this is like an actual world, and we've got to be prepared for this. But also, he still commentates what he's doing like a fucking speedrunner.
Yeah, which I think he explains it in one chapter as being like a sort of nervous tick, like it helps him concentrate and everything.
Yeah, it helps him
because he's so used to doing it. Right?
Yeah, it actually reduces his mistakes. He initially did it so he could get used to it for a tournament, or not a tournament, but like a showcase.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, oh, okay, this actually helps me not make as many mistakes, so I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yeah, which is good, because like otherwise, as they say, you get too far into your own head.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I've definitely
believe me, I get that.
Yeah, I've definitely been there. There's a lot of things where like NPCs and just various people in this world are like, what the fuck is he doing? Why is he naked?
He's using the fucking like the equip glitch to like entertain some kids on the street.
Yep. Because they heard about what he could do, and they like him because he helped deal with monsters. So yes, let us show the children that one cool trick. Like if I was in Eorzea, for example, as a friend pointed out, just doing the like transformation hinging glam transformations.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not a glitch, obviously, but it would still be very entertaining. So there are a lot of just really good gags in this. It is still ongoing, so I'm not going to talk too much about the content of the plot, other than Bad and Naughty Slimes go to the Skybox Wiggler. As my friend Hannah said.
I doubt that I'm ever going to get to use that on you, but at some point, if it ever does happen, like I want to. I hope I remember that line.
Oh boy. All right, so I think that's kind of that done for now. Just saying, this is good. I very much enjoyed shotgunning this and getting up to date on it. You should also read it.
Yeah, it's very funny. Go read it.
Yes. And like, if you found Konosuba a bit much, read this instead. Yeah,
I'm a notorious Konosuba hater, and I like this a lot. So
yeah, it's a good dose of comedy, but has enough serious in it. It does have a good amount of gaming culture stuff in it, because there are character profiles written by fans of the in-world video game that talk about her personality and stuff. Various personalities of different characters. And also talking about the fact that the secret identity of the princess gets number 1, but Aida herself gets number 8.
I think that's like partially due to like the fact that you don't really see the princess much, like, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Of his explanations of the fucking storyline of the game, but you don't actually get to see the actual princess very often in the game.
Yeah, it's kind of the Zelda Sheik situation.
Yeah,
because you see some of Zelda when she's a child. And then you do the time skip and you meet Sheik, and you don't find out that Sheik is the princess until much later.
I'm still like begging. This is weird because I don't play the Zelda games, but I'm still like begging Nintendo or whoever the fuck to make a damn Zelda game where you actually play as Zelda and get to do like actual hero shit as well.
Well, I mean, you kind of do in the latest game. It's not a 3D Zelda, but it is. Echoes of Wisdom is Zelda, and sure, it's weird copying magic, but that kind of fits for the holder of the Triforce of Wisdom.
I would expect the Wisdom to be less about like copying stuff and more independent research and shit.
Fair enough.
Like make Zelda an Archmage is what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, you could absolutely do that. And
Fucking Link is the goddamn knight because he's got, courage, and that's how you do.
Yeah,
and then Zelda gets to be the Archmage or the Saint or the fucking Sage or whatever the fuck you want to give that title.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I could see that. I could also see her being like a magical archer.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to fall into that trap because women in fantasy always gets like stuffed into archer.
That's
granted. They also get stuffed into like fucking mage all the time too.
So yeah, it's kind of like you're kind of fucked either way. So it's kind of 6 1 half dozen of the other.
Yeah, so what I would do instead is make her like a magic knight because nobles do get fucking like fencing training just because.
Absolutely. And in Twilight Princess, while she never gets a chance to use it, because Ganon goes, if you try and strike me, I'm just going to kill all your people, essentially. Or not Ganon, but Zant in Twilight Princess. She has a fencing sword. So it's not without precedent for her character either. And
like a sidebar, like while I'm thinking about it, when I say fencing in relation to like nobles and like other stuff like that, I don't mean the modern sport fencing.
Yeah,
you call using a longsword fencing when it's in this context as well. It's not. Fencing is not just for modern rapier foils.
Yeah. In Wind Waker, she's actually a pirate, so she actually uses a scimitar.
Cutlass, I would assume, actually.
What's the difference? Like literally,
a cutlass is less deeply curved and also has a hand guard typically. Like it has a knuckle guard. Let's see. Hold on. Let me find a picture of a scimitar real quick. Oop, 1 moment. I have a call.
Yep. Take your time. I'm gonna grab a picture of her sword. It's surprisingly harder than it sounds. Let's see. I want to make sure it's in-game and not fan art.
Literally just my housemate calling me to like ask me what kind of soda I want. It's like I only drink 2. Like there's like 2 types of soda that I ever drink.
Yeah, fair.
You should know this by now.
You would think, but apparently not.
In context, I'm not just being a bitchy asshole here. I've lived with this person for 6 years. They don't need to call me until they figure out what kind of soda I want. All right. I would not call them to see what kind of soda they want because I know what kind of soda they want. They only drink the one, and it's the same thing for me. I only drink like the one or two types. Damn it.
Yeah. Well, at least they weren't calling to ask you to do some stupid bullshit.
That's true. Yeah. Like most of the irritation just comes from like them calling me in the middle of the stream that they know I'm having.
Yeah, that's
If I
fair.
wasn't doing anything else, I wouldn't be like even bothered by that. Like I'd be probably slightly annoyed that I had to pause in the middle of a boss fight or something. But other than that, man, whatever.
Now, let's see.
Anyhow, we talked about scimitars and cutlasses.
Yeah. Let me
Let's see.
There. It's kind of a small picture, but there you go.
This is a picture of a scimitar on. Nope, that is a scimitar for some reason instead of a cutlass. I don't know why she has a scimitar there, but yeah.
It's mainly been a staple of pirates in Zelda for some reason. Well, I say for some reason. It's because they've
her
been.
outfit is also Middle Eastern.
Yes,
that's Sarawell there. She's wearing a Sarawell and a. I don't remember what the Middle Eastern vest is called.
But yeah, getting into that, pirates have been associated with Middle Eastern culture in Zelda because originally the first characters that got shown to be pirates were formerly the Gerudo thieves in the desert. So Gerudo thieves in the desert gets a Middle Eastern vibe, then the pirates in Majora's Mask get that same Middle Eastern vibe because they're also Gerudo, and I think it kind of stuck.
Here's a naval cutlass, so you can see the difference here. See how the curve on the scimitar is much deeper, and then there's also no like basket hilt or guard on the scimitar.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, this is absolutely a scimitar.
I would probably classify that actually as a falchion, but that's just because it's a really thick blade.
That's fair.
And the curve isn't quite that severe either. It's like a falchion with a tail on the end of the tip, which actually does happen occasionally.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
like, for example, this goddamn thing right here.
She doesn't get to use it too much because Ganon punks anything that isn't the Master Sword or light arrows.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but I get it. Like you need the MacGuffin weapon to be able to fight the baby EG. I get it.
Yeah.
The baby EG, no. Thanks, Captain. I'm not fighting a baby. All right. Fighting the big bad evil guy. But anyhow, there's actually been like we were talking about this before in the preamble, but there's actually been a resurgence of like vampire media in the past couple of years, which is good because I missed it.
And with Speedrun Isekai, another one that connects it to Zelda speedruns is, hey, we're not going to have you rolling constantly in your speedruns because that is going to give you a repetitive stress injury. So it's banned. Though in the case of Speedrun Isekai, it's cartwheels. That was all I wanted to add.
Yeah, that's fair. So like the other day when I was talking to my colleagues about the vampire media thing, I as a passing thought, I was just like, I wonder if it's because like Bloodlines had such a fucking chokehold on us so that no one wanted to do it for fear of like failing to live up to it.
Maybe.
Yeah, which is what I was just like, hey, it's mostly just a passing thought, but hey, maybe. And my colleague was just like, no, I don't know if it's that. It's like, well, we'll see if I ever do any research on it. And then like a different colleague shows up and just like off the top rope with a yes, it actually was that. They tried to make a World of Darkness, Vampire the Masquerade MMO for 10 years,
Oh yeah,
and it just got fucking like the whole industry was just like destroyed by this, and then fucking Twilight came out and
and
made vampires painfully uncool for another decade after that.
yeah. Which it's that dilemma of is this person complaining about good media or is this person a misogynist?
For like for fucking Twilight, like 90% of it is definitely that like Twilight is actually just fucking bad.
I wouldn't
Twilight
go
is
90% just because
90% of what's left at this point.
at
When
this
I was
point,
in fucking junior high, yeah, a lot of it was misogyny.
yeah. That's the thing
I
is,
believe me, I read the entire series to see if it actually was as bad as people were saying. Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Like there is tons of things wrong with it, with the weird Mormon shit and the weird
They had some
everything.
interesting ideas, and that like every vampire has a unique ability. That's cool, but like,
Yeah, and
there's also like the idea that vampires actually get weaker the older that they get, not stronger, which is an interesting reversal from usual. That's cool. I like that.
yeah, because it kind of puts an impetus on passing on through generations.
Yeah, like the elder vampires were like more. They were described as more brittle, more papery, and like rather than like marble, they were more like sandstone or something like that. And then like it was also said that newborn vampires are the physically most powerful because they are still full of human blood, like completely full, and you can't get that full after all that blood is used up.
Yeah,
Like because you literally can't even give yourself an infusion with it, so
yep.
the needle just won't go in.
Yeah, so it's that stuff, which, yeah, obviously massively problematic. But then you had a lot of people who just made fun of women for, you know, enjoying a power fantasy of a sort, which is weird to call.
My
But
goddamn colleague just like comes off the top rope with full cap, like all caps, and just goes, "Let me tell you about the 10-year-long failed attempt to build a World of Darkness MMO that choked the life out of every other vampire game project for that time." It's like, no, I didn't want my passing thought to be real, Kara.
yeah, but as it turns out, it was real, and it's kind of, I think, part of what broke the fucking spell is the new Bloodlines game is in development hell, and the torture,
which I don't like the idea of the new storyline for Bloodlines 2. I was on the fence about being a thin blood, but I was willing to give it a go because it was Bloodlines, and then they come out with like, "Oh yeah, you're a 300-year-old elder now," and I'm like, "Huh? What?
Nani the fuck? That's what we're going with now?"
Yeah, like, please, what? So it's also like a voiced protagonist, even, and I think it's like voiced in the same way that V from Cyberpunk 2077 is voiced. So like, it's not bad. Like, it's not a bad thing necessarily, but it's also
it limits your dialogue choices because you're not.
Yeah, and then there's like secondly, and I think more importantly, as an elder, you are fundamentally far more powerful than like most people in the setting.
Which is not what made Bloodlines the original good. In fact, you were kind of bottom tier baby shit.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't actual baby shit because you were an 8th generation vampire, which is like almost half the number that are in the modern day. But so like you definitely have an advantage. It's just that takes time to kick in.
Yeah, that's a slight advantage, and you have to get your feet wet doing dirty work for people you don't like.
Yeah, people that can mind control you into doing shit.
Yup. You can
because
try
they're
and
a lower
refuse.
generation than you.
Yeah, you can try and refuse, but they will make you do the thing.
Small lore lesson for everyone that doesn't know Vampire the Masquerade. The reason why the Prince LaCroix, can mind control you and you can't do anything about it is because he's a lower generation than you. He's 6th generation.
Yup. Because I think he was part of the Roman Legion.
Yeah, some shit like that. I don't remember. And that is something that you cannot change ever. You can get like in the tabletop version, you can get like feats and like the equivalent of feats at least, like special traits that allow you to resist up to like 1 level higher than you in like domination abilities, but you have to spend a resource to do it, and they don't have to spend a resource to dominate you. So like this is a real and like important problem for kin society, or not kin society.
Yeah, especially for the Anarchs, who are mostly younger generations.
Yeah, like this is a really, really big problem, because the only way that you can increase your effective generation is by committing diablerie, which is
draining the blood and soul.
Which is an immediate death sentence if anyone ever finds out you did that, and you can't hide that you did it.
Yep, your soul is fucking tainted as shit afterwards.
Yeah, anyone with the Auspex discipline can just see it in your aura permanently. Or not necessarily permanently. It goes away after a while, but it takes several years. So like if you want to maintain your active political like influence after you commit diablerie and not get a blood hunt sent on you, you have to do it remotely. Like you have to talk to people over the phone and shit instead.
Yeah, you basically have to go dark. And I wouldn't blame any vampire who did it just digging a hole in the ground and going to sleep for the time it takes.
Yeah, like that's actually something that they used to do. This is like they would go into torpor after doing it so they wouldn't get caught.
Yep.
Like they'd let people know ahead of time. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep for like 50 to 100 years or whatever the fuck, just to cover themselves, and then you commit to diablerie the day before, and then just like go to bed.
Yeah, and like
there is even further risk with diablerie though. If you consume someone that is too high or too low of a generation compared to you, they can actually just take over your body and supplant your entire consciousness with their own.
Yeah, like
which is what happened to one of the progenitors of one of the clans.
Yeah. Which
so it's kind of like you probably don't want to do that, but it's also the only way for you to get stronger.
Yep, so you have to be very careful about which generation you're blood-sucking from first, and go up the chain.
Yeah, I would do it 1 generation at a time, right?
Yeah, just to cover my ass.
Of course, someone is going to notice eventually that you're stronger than you should be. But, like, what are they going to do about it if you're already, like, 4th generation or whatever by then?
Yeah, which, I don't know how LaCroix was planning to get away with it if his plan worked.
Well, he would have been... So what he was trying to do was diablerize a Generation 2 vampire.
Yes, that's my point.
Which is the direct child of Cain. These are the motherfuckers that are essentially, like, they're literally in-game said to be at a level where they are essentially gods.
Yeah.
No one's going to be able to fight him after that.
Yeah, but my point being...
If he managed it, he wouldn't have to hide it.
That's the thing. I don't think he would have gotten away with it. I'm pretty sure that fucking mummy would have supplanted his brain if it was actually...
Maybe. Yeah. Fucking could have been.
If it was actually a Generation 2 vampire.
Yeah, it was a Generation 2 or 3 vampire. I don't remember which, and I don't think it was ever said. It was just said that he was supposed to be an antediluvian.
Yeah, so that's... Yeah, so it's Generation 2 or 3 in there, because the antediluvians are the ones who started the bloodlines.
Yeah. Because Cain is the 1st generation vampire, right? Like, just for, like, to clarify this for everyone. Cain is the only 1st generation vampire. He's the only one. Yep. And then he turns everyone, like, his direct children, rather, are Generation 2, and then it goes on from there. And Generation 2 and 3s are in-game, like, tabletop rules in the books. It literally says some shit like, these guys can do whatever they want with their discipline, whatever their discipline is. They can do whatever they want to do with it. It's up to the DM. Like, they can just do whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They have no stats at that point. They are just literally gods. They can drown the entire world in blood if they want to, by themselves.
Yep.
So, like, if he actually managed it and didn't get taken over by the consciousness of the elder...
Oh, yeah, like if he actually managed
no one was going to be able to fight him.
Yeah, nobody would be able to fight him. But that doesn't seem like a risk worth taking, at least being, jumping that far in the tiers.
Yeah, like, do it one by one, maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, what he was going to do with the diablerization anyway, because it was just a mummy. There wasn't any blood left.
I guess you can if it's still just in torpor, just in a very deep torpor. Maybe it's that you just suck out the soul.
That's essentially what diablerization is, but it's the blood acts as the medium for the soul, right? So the last drops of blood in a vampire is the soul.
Eat it like a baguette.
That's the idea. I guess, yeah. Which makes me wonder what Jack was going to do with that fucking mummy afterwards, because, like, if you get any blood on that motherfucker, he's waking up.
Maybe it was a plant from the very beginning.
I think it might have been. Hold on a second, I'm getting another call.
Yeah. Yeah, it could just have been a plant from the very beginning and been a regular-ass mummy, and Jack is actually the antediluvian. I know that's a popular theory. And it's just that, he's trying not to involve himself too harshly. To the point that, drowning the world in blood, etc., etc.
Yeah, all right. Give me a second. I will be back in a minute. I'm back with the soda thing. But what were you saying?
Oh, there are some theories that Jack is the antediluvian in actuality, or at least was...
Oh, could be, yeah.
Yeah, or was at least young enough to know antediluvians.
Yeah, I remember seeing that too. Anyhow, I'll be back in a minute.
All right, BRB screen. Back.
So, there are two things that I disliked about Vampire. And one of them is, of course, the fact that Jonathan Reed is like a set character, and I couldn't customize my character at all.
Yeah.
Which, I don't care how much you say that it's like 1914 and like women couldn't become doctors back then. I don't give a shit. It's a vampire game. Fuck you. Let me be whatever I want.
Yeah.
First off.
That only, realism only seems to come up when it's keeping women and minorities out of video games.
Actually, you know what? Let me do a search real quick. Female doctors, England, 1910s. Yeah, let's say British women physicians and let's see, Emily Blackwell. Yeah, she was even before that. So yeah, you could. And then there's Margaret Bromhall, Edith Brown.
Yeah,
there's a lot of British doctors around the time that
were women. And not to mention
not like a super amount, but
a lot of early medical work was done a lot by medicine women.
Yeah, like this could have happened. Fuck you all. Don't come at me with that shit. Could have also been like a good way to put the character in, because like his backstory is that he was fighting in a war, right?
Yeah,
and then he came back after like the Spanish flu hit. And at the time, a lot of women were also doing medical work for the military because that was like one of the only things that they were allowed to do in most countries in militaries.
Yep, that was
Of course, like for World War One and those early wars like that, you also still had women fighting, but you know,
yeah. Though primarily, even in those cases, they were pilots, which is not to
Yeah.
disparage them because they had to have nerves of fucking
yeah, the night
steel.
witches. The night witches, I think they were called. Are they Russian? I think.
I believe so. Yes. Let me see here.
Let
me be sure.
The Russian night witches.
Uh,
Yeah, a group of female Soviet pilots who flew bombing missions against the Nazis during World War II. Of course, that was like 30 years after the time period we're talking about, but still. Anyhow, so there was that. Like, that's just like my common complaint all the time, though, because no matter what you think is actually realistic, believe me, that's not actually realistic. There's a reason why we separate the words realism and verisimilitude.
yes.
Because realism is much weirder than you think it is. That's like the whole reason behind the phrase, like, reality is stranger than fiction.
Yeah, and also, like, for all you weirdos, while yes, there was slavery in the past, and that certainly colored the interpretation England had of people of color, there were still people of color in England who participated in nobility, who were foreign dignitaries, all sorts of things.
Or more, what they called them back in the day was Moorish. They're called the Moorish Knights, as in like people who were from the Moors.
Yeah, and like
this is one specific example I'm thinking of, but there was a black knight. I think he is the 1600s or 1700s, something like that, and like he was like considered very honorable and just like a model knight, just like anyone else would be.
yeah,
But he was also black. It's like, well, if he is a knight and that's knights are nobility, there are black nobles. Fuck you, eat shit.
Yep. And, foreign dignitaries, of course, Mansa Musa had to...
Also just like merchants and travelers in general. Like,
Mansa Musa...
I had some motherfucker try to tell me the other day that like back like fucking 500 years ago, there wasn't like so much travel between places as much back then. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
You have to go like 6 villages over to the nearby town or the nearby city, which, is 6 villages over to sell your goods.
Yeah, there was
travel was a common part of life. You just did it on foot or on a horse instead of like in a carriage or over by sea most of the time.
Yeah, it was very slow going, and you really would not leave your country of origin very often.
Yeah, which it's still not common today, right? People want to say that it is, but most people don't have the money for that.
Well, it depends on where you live. Because if you live
it's more common now, but
if you live anywhere in the European Union, you can.
That's true, yeah, but that's because like you can just get a train over and you don't have to pay anything. It costs you like €5 or whatever.
Yeah, like you can take a fucking day trip to like several different countries.
Yeah, but that's because they specifically set it up that way, right? Like,
yeah, but
they purposefully set it up to make sure that could happen.
But granted, Americans are very unique in how little we travel to other countries.
Still, though, like the point is, like, you would still travel a lot. Like, these people would end up all over the place. Like, there's a reason why there are records of like fucking Marco Polo in China. Okay.
Yeah, like there's definitely very outstanding individuals as that as well. But yeah, there was plenty of fucking travel going on. It just wasn't the kind you're thinking of. There wasn't a lot of it.
Yeah, it just took longer, mostly. It was more dangerous.
It took longer. You're probably going to stay where you're going for a while, at least. If you go to another country, you're probably not coming back until you're much older, at least.
Yeah, at least a couple months there. If not years. But like the actual important thing, the reason why I can play vampire rather, is that the developers in their infinite wisdom decided to make it so that you could not cheat yourself a bunch of experience. like experience points to like buy abilities with. And the way I discovered this was that I was trying to max out a given skill tree in order to test its abilities to see if I actually wanted to go down that route or not.
Oh dear.
So they just like the basically what they did is they made it so like if you suddenly had more experience than you should, uh you would be locked out of gaining any further experience, period. Like after you spent whatever experience you could right there, you would be set to 0 permanently. And it's like, come on, guys.
This is a single
Single
player
player game.
RPG.
Yeah, which I know, like I know their like thought process on this because the main way that you get experience in Vampire is by eating people.
And they
Like the
don't.
whole thing is that you,
Yeah.
the whole like central mechanic of leveling up is learning more about the people around you, and then once you have learned everything about them, you go and fucking eat them for a huge chunk of experience,
Yeah.
like enough to buy like 2 or 3 abilities, kind of huge amount of experience. And the only other way is by like doing quests and fighting everything, but like the amount that you get is like literally like I think it was like 10 per kill, and then you get like 3,500 when you max out a tree and bite someone and eat them.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of difference we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Which like
absolutely.
so I get it. I get why they wanted to make sure that you would either be struggling to maintain your morality and not
Yeah, but
to
don't
give in for
hard
more
code
power.
that shit. Just
Yeah, exactly. Most people aren't gonna be using fucking cheat engine, dude. Like most people don't know how to use that shit.
yeah, you
Just
don't
let
need
me
to
fucking
hard
test
code
my
it.
abilities so I can figure out which one I like. Because I like blood magic and shadow magic, you fucks. Like that's all cool. I just want to know which one that I should go into, which one feels good, which one punches hard. Come on.
Also, my fucking neighbor clomps down their stairs, and it always like sounds like it's in my place.
Agony. Agony right there. But anyhow, yeah, I'm looking forward to like getting more vampire shit for once.
Yes,
And
please.
I hope that a game comes out where it actually makes you feel like a fucking vampire again. Because
Yeah.
it's just been Vampire and Bloodlines that have actually made me feel like that.
Yeah, like honestly, we kind of need. You know what would actually work is the Disco Elysium folks doing a vampire game.
I don't know about that because like a big part of that vampire feel comes from being able to bite people and eat them mid combat, right?
I
Because that's a big thing that
guess.
like every other vampire thing is missing is that you can't just like grab a motherfucker with your absurd inhuman strength and eat them while they have their guard up. You always have to do it from stealth or whatever. And it's like, nah, fuck that. Let me eat you. Nom nom.
Granted, I was more talking about their story writing.
Oh yeah, the story writing is excellent. Like I'm not gonna complain about that. I just mean like being able to eat people whenever you want, even if it's a bad idea, is a key part of it, right?
Yeah.
Because like that's the one thing that's really missing in the vampire mods that I have for Skyrim. And this is how I know that this is important to feeling like a vampire. Is because I generally can't eat people mid combat. I have to like use some pacification spell or whatever, and then crouch and then select it from a menu instead of pickpocket. And it's like, just let me eat you. Just let me nom on that face.
Yeah,
I'm
fair.
hungry and I'm gonna eat you. Come on.
Yeah, very fair, very fair.
So usually what I'm doing instead is like I'm dragging like bodies around corners to eat to drain the like the dregs of blood out of them without getting hit by like lightning bolts or crossbow bolts or whatever the fuck. Because unfortunately, in their infinite wisdom, Requiem decided that the developers of Requiem decided that restoration magic does not work on undead, which
Ooh.
fair, I guess, kinda. Yeah, fuck you, but fair.
Yeah.
So the only ways I can heal is by drinking blood, whether that's from a preserved vial of blood or just like eating people mid combat. So
Yeah.
like I'm just sort of fucked.
Yeah, which, I mean, is a common thing. You know, you use healing spells on undead to actually injure them.
Yeah, it's just that base Skyrim actually already had something about this. In the restoration tree, you could get a perk called like Necromage or some shit like that that would make it so your restoration spells worked on yourself and allied undead. So like Skyrim already thought about that, but they took that fucking perk away in Requiem. Damn it!
Yeah, alright, fair. So, starting off with the first of the anime of the list, we'll do Ranma because it's quicker.
Yeah, good, because I already have that one up. Once again, the cast of Ranma proves the fact that they are all awful people in various ways.
Yes, though this one's kind of above the grade.
Yeah, like I don't remember her name because I only saw it like the once, but like some bitch tries to kidnap Ryoga in his pig form, and
Does
when
for a day.
her dance part or her not dance
Ice skating.
ice skate yeah thank you ice skating partner like takes the pig back and gives him back to Akane. She just flies off the handle and starts beating him with random shit, including ashtrays, bar stools, and fucking tables.
Yes.
It's like, lady, calm down.
Uh,
What the fuck?
It is Asusa Shiratori and Mikado Sazenin.
Okay. Asusa. Okay. But and then like her fucking skate partner's just like, why are you like this all the time? Why can't you be normal for once? It's like, yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, like I hate.
It's like you're also a huge weirdo, but like in this one instance, you do have a fucking point.
Yep. Like this one instance, we are you, Mikado, but no other.
Yeah, like there was even like a fucking like the side characters proving themselves to actually be like slightly better human beings than like everyone around them. Because he goes, she just has this really bad habit of like just picking up whatever she finds cute, digging it with her without asking for permission or anything. And like these guys like in the restaurant are just like, isn't that a crime?
Yeah, isn't that just
yeah, a little bit.
You know, fucking stealing? But she's probably from a wealthy family, so
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's an ice skater. Come on.
yeah.
It's one of those sports that you don't usually get into unless you're pretty rich.
Kind of, but you can get like cheaper skates.
Yeah, it's just like it's a wealthy person's sport the same way that polo is, right?
Yeah, fair enough. It's just you don't have to pay for access in quite the same way.
Yeah, it's just like it's not a wealthy person's sport in that you have to pay a lot to get into it, but rather that it's a cultural thing for wealthy people for some fucking reason.
Fair enough.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, at least getting into it on a competitive level.
Yeah, because poor people like me play football and fuck up our bodies for life. That's all. we play football and basketball and fuck up our bodies. That's what happens.
Yeah, so learning how to do the figure skating, learning how to skate in general, and then figure skating in for competition purposes, because this chick who has no claim on Ryoga / Pichan is saying, well, I'm going to take him back if you don't beat me in a competition.
And like, I don't know why Akane like rose to that challenge at all. Because if I were her, I'd just be like, no, I'm gonna call the cops on you.
There are a lot of times where the cops should be called.
Because like at least with the fight between like Akane and what's her fuck Tatawaki's sister.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember
Kodachi.
her name. Kodachi, thank you. So for some reason I was thinking of Wakazashi. It's like no, that's the wrong sword word. Stop. Anyway, at least there, like there's nothing illegal actually happening. It's just like kind of weird and fucked up.
I mean, kind
But
of.
like in the case with Asusa, it's just like no, that's literally a crime. You can't do that. I'm gonna call the cops on you.
Granted, it's I I hope Pichan, I hope Ryoga didn't have to go to the veterinarian and get registered as somebody's pet, as somebody's legal fucking property.
Oh, that poor bastard. They can't get like it's a plastic collar too,
Oh
and
yeah,
they still can't get it off of him somehow.
yeah. So Asuza slaps a collar onto Pichan, and Ryoga himself can't even get it off. Which
Despite this man being able to like fucking crunch through very solid objects with his bare hands, he can't break this fucking stupid collar.
yeah. So anyway, Ranma, who doesn't want to look uncool and unknowledgeable in his male form, which definitely speaks to his toxic masculinity, but that's kind of the show. It goes into her female form and tries to learn ice skating. So, you know, the both him.
Ranma is very much just the my gender is whatever makes the bit funnier.
Yeah. So tries to, you know, learn ice skating to partner up with Akane. And then fucking Mikado swoops in and steals Ranma's first kiss, which the first kiss is what's emphasized by the people in the surrounding, but it's more the fact it was a non-consensual kiss.
Yeah. Which like Akane doesn't tell anyone that and just like makes fun of Ranma for not having had kissed before. It's just like I don't know, girl. Like you're like the one person in this fucking show that I would have expected to bring that up.
Yeah.
Because of who you are and how much you fucking hate like people
like Mikado.
trying to like yeah, like Mikado and Tatawaki and so on and so forth that are doing all this shit without your consent. Like I would have expected like you of all people to do this, but no, you're just a weirdo, just like the rest of your fucking family.
Yeah. The only one I'm giving a pass of doesn't know better is Kasumi.
Yeah, because like she literally didn't know. So
literally didn't
she was
know.
not told.
But yeah, it's like
Oh, this is a really good song. Hell yeah. Sorry. This is like the bridge hit, and I was just like, oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So it's so Ranma gets very pissed off by this.
As expected, like I would too, except for like I would never like gone and turned back into my male form. I would have just fucking kicked him in the nuts right there.
Yeah, but Ranma, I think, wanted to secure a feeling of control. Because Ranma doesn't care about being a girl, really. It's how other people treat them.
That's true, yeah.
And dealing with that, Ranma immediately, you know, melts like fucking Bochi, for one thing.
There's like glitches the fuck out, turns into like shattered glass, reconstructs themselves, and then runs off to turn male.
Yep,
goes and then on like once he finally gets back, he just like goes full seinen battle style dramatic aura drawn, and it's just like, oh yeah, dude, you're fucked. You're gonna fucking die.
And in fact, dives into this guy's fucking whirlwind of death maneuver to punch and kick him like 700 times.
Yeah, I think Akane literally says like, you didn't have to hit him 500 times, and then Ranma's just like, he deserved it.
Yeah, seriously. And it's like, Yeah, he fucking deserved it. And he fucking passes out, and not only does his partner right on his face, so do the men he's employed to be part of the 100-man challenge, which is apparently a thing in martial arts, or at least martial arts movies.
Yeah, like that is a thing in martial arts movies. At least it's a trope. I don't know if I don't know where the origin is, but it would be very impressive if you could somehow fight 100 people back to back and win. So there is that.
Yeah, there is that. So everybody's like, me, I want him right on his face too.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if Rodma pulled some shit like. No, actually, I would. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I was gonna say pull some shit like wearing spiked cleats or whatever on it, on during the competition, but it's like no, Rodma's too proud for that.
Yeah, that's a little bit too much. Rama is going to stick to the rules of the competition, which is you need to be in your skates. Like
Which is like
the
those skates, by the way, are very dangerous in real life.
Oh yeah,
do not do any of this at home.
Yeah, do not. These are knives.
Like you can genuinely use these things as fucking axe blades. Like don't do it.
Yeah, these are knives. Treat them like knives. Just knives you have on your feet. They are a tool, not a toy.
Yeah, just like go ahead and look up. If you're not squeamish, go ahead and look up like hockey injuries or skating, ice skating injuries of any kind.
Yeah.
Like they have to be like at least relatively sharp to be able to cut through the ice so you can skate. So like those are blades. There's a reason we call them blades.
Yep. But yeah, so Rama needing a sense of control, like fucking jumps into the men's onsen, which those men probably had a bit of what girl dive in, man come out. What?
Got an eyeful and then like something that made them question the rest of reality.
Like, fuck, I think I must be seeing shit. Maybe I need to get out of the water.
Which, like, if I ever get that reaction from someone, I will consider that like gender euphoria.
That's fair. That's fair.
Eyeful and then questioning their sense of reality. Yes, exactly that.
Yes, excellent. So turns back, rushes out, like Kat said, has the seinen, just battle shonen, or fucking cracks the ice by punching it. And is ready to fucking just go to town. And while still not good at the whole skating thing, he's actually able to jump up, land, kind of, and keep going.
Was he even wearing his skates there?
Yes.
I don't think was he?
Yes,
I don't remember because like.
Yeah, he was on his skates. He landed on his skates, but usually ended up slipping. But he would jump from his skates to the air, and airborne, he feels fine. Because he's used to that.
I could believe him like wearing his normal shoes and then being able to do all that stuff on ice. And then like occasionally slipping anyway because he doesn't really know how. Because like I personally, like back in the day before my legs were shit, could run on like black ice and all that shit. So
yeah, fair enough.
It's definitely possible. You just need to know how to do it.
Yeah, at first, Akane agrees because pride and shit, like her and Rama are much more similar than either would like to say. And then she goes, well, fuck, she just put a collar on Piton. And it's like, yeah, I kind of have to get involved.
Yeah, as soon as she put that, like, if I hadn't done it already, like, as soon as she put that fucking collar on him and then took the key away, I would be like, that would be putting her head in the trash can.
Yeah, really? Like, she is just a spoiled fucking brat, and that's what people call her, is spoiled and brat. and it just fits. Like, she just takes what she wants, she does what she wants. She has an obsession for collecting cute things and giving them a French name and origin.
Yeah, because she calls the Ryoga Charlotte. It's fucking
And and calls a piece of Uzumaki like something else.
Yeah, I don't remember what she fucking calls it.
But
like,
she decided the piece.
She's so obsessed with like cute things that she takes the Uzumaki that fucking Rama throws at the asshole. I don't remember his name.
Mikado.
Mikado. There we go. As a like a white glove challenge thing, and she takes it after beating Mikado some more. God, this woman is so fucking weird.
Yeah, and admittedly, she is intended to be incredibly, incredibly weird.
Yeah, it's definitely intentional. It's just like, fuck, girl, calm down.
Yeah, seriously.
Someone needs to give her a swirly.
It's true.
And I don't say that lightly.
It really is true, though. It's just... She's also...
She needs to face some consequences for her actions. That's all.
I mean, she does. But also, she's strong enough to just kind of lift a table and use it to batter people. So there's not a lot of people who can give her a swirly.
Akane, I choose you. Go. You swirly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there will be characters later who can give her a swirly. So yeah, that's kind of the bit of the episode, because we're not going to get into the actual competition until next episode.
Yeah, although they did have a like slightly rom-com moment, emphasis on the Braum at the very end between Ranma and Akane.
Yeah, because they're talking about kisses and things, because Ranma's, still upset for obvious reasons.
Yeah, that's not something you just like get over.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But of course they get interrupted by the family, because of course they fucking do.
Well, yeah, but they were also like, Ranma's like, I don't want to do this if it's not something that feels important. I wouldn't want to do it lightly, kind of thing, which I get, but also...
It's just a kiss.
Just Shut kiss, up. You idiots.
Yeah, it's just a kiss. Shut up.
Yeah, but I mean, we are many a season before that's even a possibility, I feel.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, this is like what, like episode 8? This is like nearly there. It's like, damn, that's some quick development. Fuck.
Though, speaking of quick development, Demon Lord 2099.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna preface our discussion here with I think they sort of fucked this episode up a little bit.
Yeah. I think they did to an extent.
Like the pacing was a little weird and the animation was off.
Yeah, so, the pacing was weird.
It's not a portent for like the rest of the season. I hope it's just like this one episode that was kind of fucked.
I hope so too. I think it's probably to some extent like they didn't have the budget to animate the big dragon effect.
Yeah, and Marcus's faces and expressions were a little bit weird this time too.
Yeah, so fingers crossed this is just one episode that kind of didn't get the budget it really needed.
That it needed, yeah. And rather than budget, I would call it the time that it needed.
Yeah, but I mean,
which is of course time. Like that's tied to budget and everything, but because like regardless of how much you're paying them, animators and artists in general, like if you give them the time, they will we will make it good if we can. If we've got the time for it, we're gonna put it in there.
Yeah, but it's about
and we can't help it.
It's about having the budget to pay people to work on that episode for the amount of time, or do we need to have you working on, if this is a 12 episode core, should we have you be working on 9, 10, 11, and 12?
Yeah. Gods.
So to give the actual plot synopsis, Veltol gets to Marcus, gives him one chance to go, here, do you have any excuses, any explanations, any reason for why you killed and disparaged a bunch of immortals, why you killed your fellow dark peers? And even after all that, would you still work for me? Would you still serve me specifically?
Despite answering no there, he does apparently have some reason later on, or maybe it was just like him trying to buy time. But like he does say it's like, there was reasons, and then Veltol's just like, nah, I don't give a shit, dude. I already gave you a chance, and just
yeah, because he's like, oh, you don't know why this world is the way it is now.
Yeah, you could have fucking said that first, idiot.
Yeah, you could have done a lot of things earlier, but your arrogance led you to not. So, Veltol does get beaten around quite a bit at first because, well, Marcus can do a lot of shit.
Yeah, he's got a prototype advanced Familia that is much better than others, and Veltol still can't use a Familia. So, of course, Marcus does actually still have an advantage there. It's just Veltol pulls a "this isn't even my final form" on him and then fucks him up.
Yeah, turns into a dragon and removes one of the things that the Familia could not remove, which is the verbal component. Which
chantless magic, essentially. They call it proclaimless, but it's chantless magic.
Yeah, because
there's no incantation for it at all.
Yep, no incantation. You can just do it via thought,
which is a huge thing. That's huge.
Oh yeah, you are essentially a god at that point.
Yeah, I think the way that I wrote it in the rules for Well of Souls is that it takes 5 years of steady practice on just learning how to do chantless magic. Is getting your mana control high enough to be able to do that, and then you still have to actually practice the spells themselves as well, chantless. So it's a huge advantage. The way that it works there is that each level, chanted, mnemonic, and then chantless, it goes from a full turn's action to half a turn's action to a free action.
Yep.
To put it into D&D terms. So it's just that's a huge bonus.
Yeah, which is essentially what Veltol kind of does, is he's able to do spells as a free action. And Marcus unknowingly set up the perfect environment for him to take this secondary form. He's got the faith handled by
Takahashi.
I
didn't talk about the fucking secondary part of the plan real quick, because that was genius shit.
Oh yeah, filling with faith.
Yeah, so when Takahashi hacks literally every screen in the entire damn city at once, she apparently had set this up beforehand. And then she hacks every fucking screen in the thing to play a recording of one of Veltol's streams, so that everyone in the city
was thinking about Veltol right then. Other than
and of course, there's a small part of the scene later where some dudes at a bar are talking about how this is actually on worldwide social media too. So it's not just the city; it's half the goddamn planet is thinking about who the fuck is this Veltol guy.
Yeah,
is watching these videos,
because it doesn't need to be, like the stronger, I imagine the stronger the feeling, the stronger the power, but even a small bit of emotion from everybody.
Yeah.
Even if it's just bewilderment of who the fuck is this guy?
And like a little bit of like, did they really just like put this on every screen in that city? Holy shit, dude.
Yeah,
that's absurd.
Yeah, that's, kind of a big dick move. And yeah, so it's specifically a abundance of faith and a abundance of mana through being deep underground by a ley line. Right.
Yeah, over 2 ley lines and then like right in front of the immortal furnace, right? So like you
Yeah.
can just use all of that.
Yep. Use all that and become the demon form, which is unfortunately, it kind of looks like a fucking animatronic the way it's animated.
It looks like a Digimon, is what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like I am the great and powerful Oz, just kind of lip flaps. And it's just, not great. But it is great to see Marcus get his shit pushed in.
That's true, yeah.
And he tries fleeing for his life and goes, "Oh, you're not gonna kill me." And Belto's like, "I'm the motherfucking...
Bitch, I'm a demon lord."
Yeah, I'm the motherfucking demon lord. Who are you talking to? And puts him in the immortal furnace, because that buys him some fucking time.
Yeah, buys him some time to figure out how the fuck to fix this problem with Shinjuku.
Yeah, and for the thing...
Which, actually reminds me of that one meme edit of Castlevania, where Richter, of course, goes like, "Die, monster, you don't belong in this world," and then the Dracula's text box instead says, "Bitch, this my house."
that is great. So yeah,
you're not gonna kill me. That would be... You're not gonna put me in the immortal furnace. That'd be extremely heinous. Bitch, I'm the demon lord.
You'd be as bad as me. And he's like, he doesn't say this explicitly, but you think that hero shit is gonna work on me? It shouldn't even work on the heroes.
Yeah, it's like that's not even gonna work on Graham, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Graham is going to be relatively okay with me putting you in the demon furnace.
Yeah, because like at this point, it's not even about like what's right or wrong. That's just poetic justice.
Yeah, that's
like,
literally...
that's what you did to hundreds of your kin. So yeah, you get to do it too now, fucker.
Yeah, and and then he says something interesting, which makes me think he might have future plans. Which is, let's see here.
Pull up a quote.
Yeah, let me see. I'm looking for the thing let's meet again in Meta Noel, which is the name of his spell, which is the resurrection spell. Which makes me wonder if he's actually going to try and resurrect Marcus at some point.
He might have named it after like an afterlife of some kind.
It could be the case. But
because
I mean,
like that is something that I would do. Like a lot of people would do if they have any taste for like a flair for dramatics at all.
And Beltol certainly fucking does.
Yeah. They may name like a spell after, like a resurrection spell after an afterlife or some shit.
It's true, though I will say he was in a state where he could cast spells with a single thought. So it's possible he did cast a spell on Marcus's soul to do half the thing necessary. Because how the spell works, because it's explained in chapter 1 of the visual novel, is it's cast on the soul to send the soul into the future. And it's up to the person to wait for that length of time for the mana to gather and go ahead and do the spell for someone that's, a secondary caster. So we'll see on that. But for the thing that, for the reference of moving quickly, Veltol confesses. I see now. I see that I found a will for life. I love you.
Yeah, dude. Straight up just confesses to Machina at the very, like, the last thing in the last shot of the damn episode is him going, I love you to Machina while holding her.
Well, not the last shot of the episode.
Is it not? Am I forgetting something?
You did not watch what is usually the ending song, did you?
Oh fuck. Alright, hold on a second. Let me pull it up because I did, because it's normally just like the end credits.
Yeah, no. It is, we'll do the ending song, but we will show you scenes.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, it won't take but a minute, folks.
Okay, here we go, yeah. Takahashi's shoes.
Yeah, Takahashi reunites with Machina and, like, cries on her shoulder, like, you fucking got kidnapped.
Mm-hmm. And of course, Machina and Velto is just like, yeah, this is just normal shit. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, things are gonna get weird for you folks.
Is Graham and the secretary fucking leaving Shinjuku?
They might be. I don't.
That was just them getting on a fucking train.
Yeah, that's them getting on a train, so I think so. And also, make sure you watch until the name of the next episode.
Are they moving into the old fucking information broker's house?
You know, that actually does kind of look like the information broker's house now that you mention it, yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, good call.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice house, and it's not like anyone else is using it right now, so, you know.
Yeah, just adjust the defenses and you're golden.
Although, they don't even really need to at this point, because it's only, like, the really high-tier assassins that can do it. It's not like those high-tier assassins can actually fucking kill them.
Well, yeah, but you don't know who else had the code other than...
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. You change the locks, essentially.
Yeah, you essentially change the locks. And, like, add your own magical defenses that are yours specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Just to cover your ass a little bit.
Veltel eating ramen and loving it, because apparently he just, like, found a new zest for eating food in the modern day. He got a fucking golden plaque! Asshole!
Yep, he's got the silver play button and the gold play button equivalents.
Cyber Magic City Akihabara. Okay.
Yep.
Are they all moving then?
I don't know if they're moving, but they're certainly going to involve themselves in that city, possibly to deal with the fact, hey, we need a couple more connections to ley lines. So that Shinjuku doesn't fall to shit once Marcus's soul runs out.
Yeah, I would imagine that they've got to somehow either redirect the ley lines or move Shinjuku as a whole.
Or
whether that's just the people or the entire city, I don't know.
Or figure out how to lay, like, longer lines and just have longer power lines.
Yeah, that could be.
And just go to
because, like,
additional ley lines.
In a 4X game or whatever the fuck, you would have outposts that, like, you could plop on other ley lines and just, like, fucking run the line back to the city, right?
Yeah, you do shit like that. So that's probably why they're going to this kind of city, considering it's, like, Magic Technic.
Yeah.
Oh, and it did say that the IHMI company has a new president.
Cool. Is it Veltol?
Veltol's picture was in another newsfeed next to it, so I wonder.
Gods. That would be kind of funny.
Either that or it's Graham.
I think I would prefer it if it was Graham, but I don't think Marcus or the board of directors would ever actually do that. Like, here you go, have this
Well, no.
job, random homeless man.
Well, that's the thing. First off, Marcus is fucking dead. Second off, his right hand, the secretary, is the one who lives to tell the tale.
Yeah, it's true. But I just don't think like the board of directors would hire some random person like that. And I don't think Marcus would put it in his will that he's like giving the job to Graham.
Oh yeah,
I can
no,
see
no.
it.
But
I guess
also, you're assuming
slightly weird.
You're assuming a power hungry fuck like Marcus has a board of directors.
It's true, but it's a company, so or a corporation rather. So I would assume that it is, because that's just how corporations work in real life, and we haven't gotten any details on how it's structured in there. So I don't know.
Fair enough. But
I just gotta assume that it works like real life until we do get details.
Fair enough. I just assume like it's more like a palace coup than anything.
Yeah, it could be that, but I think it would be weird for him to do this, but not entirely out of character. But he could have put Veltel as his successor.
That would be weird, but not necessarily impossible. Either that or Veltel did just go to the board of directors and go, make me the president or I eat you.
Yeah, like Marcus might have even had like a keep what you kill thing going on. Like, motherfucker's a necromonger or something.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I really like that as a world-building idea for a society. That thing from the Chronicles of Riddick, how it like the necromongers are all like you keep what you kill. So like if you kill the boss of the necromongers, you get to be the boss.
Yeah, that is pretty good. But yeah, so yeah, I think it overall has an emotionally good ending. It's just some of that animation for that fight just wasn't it.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of want to read what the fight was like in the light novel now.
Yeah, I do think it was good characterization of Marcus, even if I found it personally annoying and grating on my ears, of how Marcus just like continually screamed like blood bomb at Veltol and just like exploded him like fucking 30 times in a row.
Yep,
that may actually be too few. 30.
Yeah, just fucking count. Just fucking spams the spell because hey, that's something only Veltol could do once upon a time, and now I'm using it to destroy his entire body. And we get that, yeah, that second form, no one has seen it before other than Graham.
Not even the Dark Peers knew of this.
Yeah, not even
Which
the
is
Dark
good,
Peers.
because if Marcus knew about it, he wouldn't have chosen to fight Veltol in the Immortal Furnace.
Yeah, if he knew the mechanics of it, he'd be like, no. And as Graham
Absolutely
said, it would lead most people to despair.
Which is interesting because Veltol explicitly states that he did not have Chantless magic when he fought Graham.
Yeah, but he did have his usual quickness to it.
Yeah, which is of course like still a huge advantage back in the day. It's just that like he's even more powerful now.
Yep, basically
because he examined and studied the fucking Familia, so he like
was able to incorporate that into his workflow, and thus he could kind of direct his energies at something else.
Yeah, which is very interesting.
Yep. Which makes sense, because he's been able to, like, manipulate mana in the same way, send conversation through.
Yeah, like, this is definitely not something that's that came out of nowhere. It's not an ass pull for the author to be doing this, because the author had already established that Veltol could replicate and copy abilities from the Familia before.
Yep.
Explicitly with I think it's 2 episodes ago when he called Machina.
Yeah, when he called Machina, a lot of the other features he could kind of replicate, like basically anything that doesn't have to do with the GUI.
Although I'm sure he could do that if he wanted to, but I don't see why he'd want to.
Yeah, like, why would, well, you'd kind of want to so you could receive images and stuff, I guess.
I mean, like you could already send images to him through telepathy anyway, right?
Yeah, fair
Presumably.
enough. But, like the smartphone features and things, I guess.
Yeah, like I personally would want to get a user interface going on it, but that's just because like you can organize things with a HUD and with the user interface and everything. You can organize
Yeah,
things
which
very
I mean,
well and keep things
might
on
still
screen in quotes.
Yeah, which Veltel might still do. Oh,
Maybe, yeah, but if he's also just like so used to have been doing the things that he's doing the way that he's doing it for several hundred years, presumably before he died originally. So,
I don't know if Takahashi will be the president, but being like getting in on the development and figuring out how to reverse engineer this fucker so Veltel can use some of that.
that would be interesting. Like, I wonder what it is about the Familia that makes it impossible for Veltol to use it.
Probably it's, if I had to guess, it's situated to his specific mana pattern.
I think it may have something to do with his neurology, because I don't think that he has neurology.
Ooh, yeah, because he's been called a higher order being more than once.
And he doesn't really bleed either. Like, yes, he does like have a little bit of blood whenever he gets injured, but it's not like a gush of blood or anything like you would expect from someone having their arm blown off or what have you.
Yeah, because even Marcus, when he gets his head dealt with, has massive spray of blood. Which, I mean, as you would expect.
It's a spray of blood, as you
Yeah.
expect. And for Veltol, though, it's like it's a couple drops when he gets cut. That's it.
And then it's just shadow.
Yeah, like he bleeds some dark goop like I do.
Yeah, so we need more explanation of what higher order being means. As far as like, do you not have a actual like organic brain?
So the way that it's usually used, at least in Japan and Korea, as far as I know from other stuff like that, is that they're literally like fourth dimensional beings, sort of deal, like from an afterlife or a heaven or some other plane of existence,
which I mean,
down to the material world,
which
means that they're typically like spirits.
Yeah, which would explain why Velton knows about a Methan Noel. If that is why he named it that. Because maybe he's just fucking from there.
It's true. Although they could also just be that, like,
it could be also
he's a demon lord, right? And demon lords do tend to have some knowledge of the secrets of the world.
Yeah, it could even be that he traveled through the various afterlives to find secrets and things, and that's how he managed all this in the first fucking place. Because of course,
yeah, like there's,
once he realizes, wait, there is at least one holy sword that can fucking kill us. Fuck, I need to figure out what afterlife is for us.
This is one of the reasons why I hope that this was just like a one-off scuffed episode.
Yeah.
Because I don't want this to damage the possibility of getting a second season. I want more. I need to know more. Because if you know anything about me, you know that I'm not going to go read the fucking light novel after this.
Yeah. But we've got 4 episodes for them to make up for it. Because I have to imagine they probably set up for a standard core.
I hope so. Let's see. In fact, okay, there is a manga for it, but it stopped being translated fucking a year ago.
Oof.
Pain.
Very painful.
Agony, even.
So yeah, and to hit us up with the last anime, which might take us the length of the others, is I went through episodes 5 through 8 of All Guys Mixer.
Yeah, just absolutely fucking shotgun that shit while I was running around Skyrim eating people for lunch.
Yeah. So episode 5 is the comic convention. So Puppy and Kudere go to a convention.
Which was very adorable, by the way.
Very adorable.
I think the thing that stuck out most to me during that episode is the fan of Fuji's work coming up and talking to Asagi about it, and then Asagi being like, "No, you should tell Fuji that yourself.
Yeah,
I'm not
tell
going to pass
Fuji
that
in
message
person.
along. You need to tell that yourself.
Yeah,
She'll be back in a minute anyway."
Yeah, tell Fuji in person and give the gift in person, and kind of keeps her talking so she sticks around. And yeah, it's a quick, "Hey, I'm a fan of your work. Here, take this thing." I run.
Yeah, which is what Fuji gets, but like, it's very interesting to me because it's good characterization for Asagi, right?
Yeah, it shows
because he's normally depicted as being just like a total fucking doofus.
Yeah, but he
But in this one
understands.
instance, he's very intelligent about it. Like, he's got that emotional intelligence.
Yeah, he's got that emotional intelligence of, yeah, it would make her feel good for you to know this.
Yeah, it would make her fucking month if you said this to her face.
Which, yeah, if you have a creative that you have a deep love for, please give your praise to them in whatever form is available.
I take praise in form of Twitch Prime subs. It's my preferred method. It's the money. Give me money.
Yes. But if you don't have money, because many of us don't in this economy.
Words will work too, I guess.
Yes. Well, whether it's saying hi to us here on Twitch or on the YouTube video, because if we get any comments on the YouTube video, I do tell Kat about it.
Yep. Join the Discord and talk to us.
Yes, also
after the stream.
Yes, you can join the Discord, be part of the Black Dragon community.
The network.
Yeah, Black Dragon Network.
God.
Which
I've been doing this way too long. You just remember that I made this Discord in fucking 2016.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Asagi's enjoying the convention, but he's also kind of a
oh yeah, like him seeing the cosplayer in armor. He's just like, this is so fucking cool. It's like, yeah, buddy, conventions are awesome. Cosplay is awesome.
Yeah, it just happened a bit of a wander, and so Fuji, being the weirdo that she is, has a collar on hand, puts a collar and leash on him, and people are like, "Fuck, are they just being kinky in public?" Which, I mean, yeah, that would kind of be my assumption too. I can't really blame them for that.
I don't know. If I was at a convention and I saw someone like that, I don't know if I would imagine kinkiness. I'd more think of like, oh, she's just trying to keep him from getting lost. It's like, look at the look on his face. Like, he is absolutely like a puppy. Like, he's gonna be running around looking at everything shiny if she doesn't have that collar on him.
I mean, it's true, but we're also getting like a lot of the deep insight into these people. if I just saw a smiley blonde being led on a leash by a dark-haired person who looks very serious, I'm thinking, oh, okay, it's that kind of relationship, okay. Which, I mean, it's not that relationship.
Or at least Fuji would like it to be that kind of relationship.
And I mean, it kind of is with how much she scratches him under the chin. From this episode onwards, pretty much.
Yeah, she just like occasionally just goes to Saki, come here. And then he's like, what's going on? And then she just starts giving him shin scratches.
Yep, because it's pretty good. And he's very happy to be supportive of Fuji's artwork. Make sure to sell the dojin properly, seize people's IDs, go, hey, are you an adult? He was told not to look, so he didn't. And everybody's kind of just looking at them from the booths and going, aw, that's fucking adorable, when it came time for the fan of Fuji's work.
Fucking Hagi's sister, though.
Yeah, Hagi's sister, we'll get to that. First, the fucking plushie from the end of this episode.
Well, go on. It sounds like you have something to say about it. Go
Well,
on.
just the fucking plushie. Like, I'm not sure how I would react if friends just made up a plushie of me. I mean, I'd feel honored, but also, like, you know,
I would suspect them of having some like having a version of it with like my actual hair on it and be like, did you make a fucking puppet of me? Please tell me you did not make a puppet of me.
get loved on, idiot.
If I start feeling random pins and needles and stabbing feelings, like I know who to blame.
But yeah, just a fucking plushy Tokiwa from the end of that episode. Very cute. Also very, like, nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Just like a side note for everyone. Voodoo dolls like don't come from voodoo, in quotes. Like they're associated with it like later on in pop culture, but they're actually
in a variety of
something
magical
from, like,
practices.
yeah, even like all over Europe. They're called puppets in Europe.
Yeah, and yeah,
It's literally just like a doll, because the doll is only important for magic when it's somehow sympathetically linked to the target, right? So they just call them puppets, which is another word for doll.
yeah. So, episode 6 is Hagi realizing I'm Kohaku sexual. More accurately.
Oh, actually, Japan has a similar kind of thing too. Now that I think about it, the shikigami.
Yes, the Shikigami.
Which is like a paper effigy of things.
Yes. But yeah, Hagi realizes he's probably demisexual because he doesn't feel anything when it comes to Suo or Fuji.
He's Kohaku sexual, as I said last episode.
Yeah, and it really does show. Like, he is smitten as fuck, and it kind of speaks to how fucking dense Kohaku is. That she doesn't see it and misinterprets the whole damn thing. For a while, because she thinks, oh, he's upset with me. Oh, that was just his girlfriend in there, even though it's clearly his fucking sister.
Yeah, like they have the same face, the same kind of expression where their eyes are always like half closed or fully closed. They've got the same hair color. This is just his sister. Kohaku, calm down.
Yeah, but his sister comes over because he was very sad about being rejected, which Kohaku doesn't realize that's what she fucking did. She thinks he just really likes sweets.
No, he likes it because it's yours, Ohaku. That's why.
Yeah. And
He
so,
likes it because you gave it to him.
because he's down in the fucking dumps, his sister shows up and be like, "Get up, idiot. I'm cleaning your apartment, and also, like, do something about it. Don't just be a dense motherfucker."
Yeah, which is ostensibly what family should do. I wouldn't know personally.
Yeah, but, you know, at least I have you around to tell me not to be a dense motherfucker.
It's true. I'll beat you with a spoon.
Exactly. And then the episode after that is camping. Which is very nice. It's just very cute, like camping. People, you know, Kohaku and Hagi working things out.
So the whole reason for the camping trip, by the way, like Suo, like organizes this specifically to help them get the fuck over themselves.
Get over yourselves, idiots. Explain what happened and how it's not he's in a relationship. That was just his sister. And we are not in Alabama.
I don't know why people in rom-coms like jump to that conclusion. Like, people have siblings. I have siblings, even if I fucking hate them. I'm like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they jump to those conclusions either. But they work it out. But also, Fuji's like, hey, you dork. Why are you worrying about other people when you could be making a move on Tokiwa?
Of course, Suo is just like, yeah, I'm taking it slow on purpose. Because it is kind of funny to see Tokiwa like squirm. So I get it.
Yeah, and it looks like they're getting pretty close looking at the stars.
Yeah, fucking Tokiwa accidentally does the moon confession thing. And
Yes.
like he realizes it and goes, "Oh fuck, not like that, not like that."
Yeah, because there is a famous bit of poetry from Soseki, which is a author who actually a Japanese author who learned in the U.S. and came back with some of what he learned and newfound poetry and kind of had a lot of influence on Japanese media afterwards. Like it's why a lot of like magical cats and things speak the way they do. Because he was the one who wrote a cat speaking in that kind of intonation.
All right, gonna take a break real quick because I need to give this fucking dog her injection. So,
All right, we will be right back, folks.
yep, Suo's beautiful face there, front and center.
Yep. So yeah, the
Did I see correctly earlier that you now have a background for these streams? You do.
yes,
Is this the neon one?
yeah, this
No,
is
this is just like a stall.
yeah, this is a
It's not
neon
the neon one
city.
you showed me before. Or is it the neon one you showed me before? I want to fucking scroll back that far. We talk too much.
Yeah, yeah,
Super lazy.
it's the neon one. You can actually
Okay, yeah. It's because you were zoomed in on that one spot. Yeah, okay. So that is the right one.
Yep.
Because the screenshot you sent me was not from the angle that you have it set up. So
Yeah, I think this looks better.
may I just say that I really like your avatar's eyes. Like I am a sucker for the fucking black sclera.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sclera, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, this was a brain blast on mine, Cappy's part.
And like I know that it's like slightly self-aggrandizing to say that because I do the same shit on mine. This is like colored sclera.
Mm-hmm. Which Cappy and also Mupp is.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me get those fucking links. There you go. I'm going to show them over here too. So Cappy did all the actual art that you see on these things, except for what's obviously promo stuff from video games or anime or manga or whatever.
Yeah.
And Muffis did Mal's actual model over there.
Yep, the 3D model, specifically for my avatar. The stuff in the background is stock stuff from Worldle.
Weirdly bony slime. So only people who have like done anything with animation will understand that joke.
Yeah. But yeah, for the time they had to put into it, I think they did a great job on this avatar.
Like aside from money, the only thing stopping me from getting one myself at this point is having to get a new fucking like webcam.
That's
Like
fair.
technically I own one, but I gave it to my for my housemate to use for their fucking teletherapy or whatever the fuck they call it. It's remote therapy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't feel like unhooking it from their fucking computer.
Yeah.
Which is like the problem for like me getting my own is I don't feel like hooking up to my computer. Because
Yeah.
that means I gotta fucking like snake it through the back, through my audio foam, behind all the wires that I've already got there, and then all the way down and into the back of the damn. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm lazy and I don't want to fucking do it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Oh, I'm the lazy fucker who hasn't put up any audio foam.
Yeah, I did the audio foam in here when I actually still had some fucking energy like 5 years ago. So I
Yeah.
bought like a 60 piece like trash bag, like literally just like a giant black trash bag of audio foam squares for like $20 when I first moved here, and then I set it up. I've got 9 there, 9 in the corner, 12 and 24 behind me because the part that's like cut off by my blackout curtain is actually kind of big. It's like a somewhat bigger than a coffin motel, actually, the part that I had cut off. Not that I actually get to close my curtain very often these days, but
Yeah.
fucking deserts, goddamn climate change. It's bullshit. I hate it.
Yeah.
Anyhow, there's the camping trip, the poetry.
Yeah. So, the newest episode is life on campus to start. Because the college girls that have been kind of seeing the prince, quote unquote, and Tokiwa
Tokiwa.
together, now see Tokiwa around just regular Lady Tsuo.
Yeah, because apparently when she's not going to work, she likes to dress in long skirts. Fair, I guess, but it's just interesting that she has a very like distinct style.
Between each. It's part of why I kind of consider her the closest to like non-binary out of the group, though I'd also give Fuji a meh gender.
Yeah, I don't think she much has a gender, and she's more just like I like boys, I like men,
Yeah.
which understandable because that's how I am with women.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't really have much of a gender. It's just like I like girls, I like women, pretty ladies.
Yeah, a good bit of curiosity and but yeah, anyway, they're just jumping to conclusions, the college girls, about
Of course they are.
is he cheating on the prince? Oh, was it a love triangle? When they say, when Suo says, "Oh yeah, that was my sister," which I don't know why you don't go. Yeah, I work at a drag king. establishment.
I think she said something about it earlier on, in like when the second episode maybe or some shit like that, where like she's not exactly hiding it, but she also doesn't want people swarming her about it, right?
Yeah, that's fair, which, gets to be kind of a university celebrity in the male persona, but go girl mode and be left relatively alone.
Yeah, like the same reason Fuji goes to the convention in men's clothing, right?
Yeah, and then just walks around as a woman.
Is Kohaku the only one we haven't seen in feminine clothing outside of the OP?
I think we've seen her once. I'd have to look.
Was it just the picture, maybe?
Maybe? It might have been the picture. Did they dress down at all while they were at the camp?
No, they were dressed all in men's clothing for whatever fucking reason. I'm sure they said why, but I don't remember why. Gods.
Which I don't know where the fuck you're hiding that braid.
Yeah, like where are you hiding your hair, Suo Kohaku? Where is it?
But yeah,
because you're not wearing wigs.
So we get through all that.
You got the exact same bangs and hair color. You're not wearing wigs. Where the fuck is it?
Assumptions of love triangles. Just a lot of speculation. And then,
like, the girls even at one point think that like fucking that they somehow got into a fight over Tokiwa, and like the Prince Suo is injured in a hospital somewhere.
Yeah, they come to all sorts of weird conclusions.
Which actually, I'm more surprised that they didn't start calling Suo Princess.
That would have been fun.
Because like they go the prince's sister, and like normally that would make one a princess. Come on.
Yeah. So yeah, the next part of this episode is Asagi at the Drag King Cafe, which I don't remember the actual name of.
It's something Rose or Rose something.
Yeah, it's Rose themed. But he sneezes and gets a very red drink spilled on him.
Yeah, it's his favorite that he always gets from Fuji.
Yep. And spills a bunch.
There's a manga, so let me just like thumb through the early chapters real quick to see if it'll show the sign.
Yep. But yeah, gets the red on him, and so one of the just kind of co-workers, like side characters, is like, here, I'll go get it washed for you. Be back.
Which, if that lady is not a butch lesbian, my gaydar is broken.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, that cut, that lack of care about Asagi's appearance. Because Asagi does not wear an undershirt under his hoodie.
Somehow.
At least not in this episode. But apparently that's just a thing some guys do.
Which is fucking weird. Okay, does not show the sign, but I know where we got the rose from. The
door, yeah.
The door window is fucking stained glass as a rose.
Yep, stained glass rose. And in the meantime, Fuji has Asagi wear the outfit because they had a spare.
Yeah, she had just washed her previous uniform, so.
And a customer walks in.
And Asagi actually had a lot of fun, like, being there. But again, like, he's Asagi, so he doesn't realize that the woman has mistaken him for one of the...
yeah, Yeah, for one of the employees.
employees. She only realizes it when she looks up when
And
he's talking
realizes-
to Fuji that he's gonna pronounce Adam's apple.
Yep. Which honestly, I cannot detect on people at all. Not that I try, but
most people don't really have a noticeable one. I'm in that camp as well. I don't really notice unless it's so fucking severe.
Yeah, unless it is severe enough, I go, yeah, if you care about this thing called passing, which, whatever, but, if it's important to you, yeah, you're going to need surgery.
Some people have ones that make them look like they're in a fucking cartoon and they're choking at a restaurant.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But most people don't really have a noticeable one at all. It's the same for. I'm actually like that as well. You can't really notice mine unless I'm stretching my neck out and pushing that part of my neck out, right?
Yeah.
But most people's will be noticeable when they do that. So it's all right, well, whatever.
Yeah, and Fuji actually gets jealous of Asagi getting attention from the customer, so gives him chin scratches to make herself feel better.
She, a couple seconds later, then she's just like, all right, I'm satisfied. That's fine. You can go back now.
And that's when she notices the Adam's apple, which really isn't pronounced on Asagi, really.
It's definitely more pronounced than mine is. Which, side note, for everyone wondering, everyone has an Adam's apple. Everyone. It's just a bit of cartilage that protects your fucking windpipe. Everyone's got one.
Yeah, it's just usually AMABs have a slightly more pronounced one.
Yeah, it's somewhat thicker on AMABs sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those weird things that's I don't know why this became a gendered thing. Literally everyone's got one. And I don't think until I saw some fucking a post about it either on Reddit or some Discord or Twitter or some shit, I don't remember. I hadn't thought about Adam's apples in a literal decade because it doesn't show up on most people for the most part.
It really doesn't, but
it's not a noticeable thing.
It's one of those things that, despite not really being noticeable, gives dysphoria to some trans people.
And which I definitely get that.
And it's not
the
helped.
Shape of your foot will give you fucking dysphoria if you've got it bad. I understand. It's just,
and it's it's also not helped to buy shitty transphobes using it as a gender marker.
Yeah, which is why I brought up the whole that everyone has one. Don't go turf on this shit. Everyone's got one. It's just
slightly
depending on the
more
angle,
pronounced.
You're gonna notice it, and depending on the angle, you're not gonna notice it. It's everyone's got one. It's not even linked to, as far as I know, it's not even linked to the amount of testosterone you have in your system either. It's just pure genetics, whether yours is big or not.
Yep. So
it's just hair color or fucking whether your hair curls or some shit. It's pure genetics and epigenetics. If you're exposed to the right stressors, you'll have a big one.
Yeah.
And if you're exposed to the right stressors, you'll have a small one. It's fucking the Adam's apple thing makes so little sense to me that it's almost trying to judge whether someone is male or female by their xiphoid bone, which I don't even know if you know what that is.
I have no fucking clue what that is.
So if you touch your diaphragm, right between that curve of your ribs right there, you'll feel a small little bump tail sort of deal coming down from your sternum. That is the xiphoid bone.
I see.
It's just a loose bit of bone or cartilage, I can't remember which, that just comes off of your rib cage and covers your diaphragm a little bit. That's your xiphoid bone.
Yeah. I am aware of that bone's existence. I didn't know what it was called.
Yeah. So, and on some people, you'll be able to notice it by sight if they've got the right build for it. Literally, if they're stomach is like if they stretch out the right way, or if they've got like a particularly flat stomach or what have you, you'll be able to like kind of see it a little bit. But it's this. That's what a Adam's apple is to me. It's like it's so fucking. It's
Yeah.
so irrelevant to like gender markers in my brain that I compare trying to judge whether someone's got a dick or not by their fucking Adam's apple is the same as like trying to judge it based on their fucking xiphoid bone. It's like what the fuck.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Something I do find interesting is there are some surveys that suggest that the younger generations have less instances of wanting bottom surgery.
I think that's probably a change in societal, cultural, gender
Yeah.
stuff because like we're seeing more stuff about like, girl dick or whatever the fuck. And it's like it's normal now or normalized now
Yeah,
for
exactly. Like
women to
it's
occasionally have dicks.
yeah, so it's one of those things where we're getting more of the people who very, very deeply in their soul want to change their genitalia, and people who just want to feel like a woman or a man and don't need or want bottom
Like it's
surgery to
anecdotal, but
achieve that.
it's anecdotal, but I think that's actually like I think I could back that up with my knowledge of the trans people that I've met that have talked to me about it.
Yeah, because older trans
Like
people, like,
the people that do want bottom surgery are the ones that like have that had like weird toxic masculinity or femininity like burned into them as kids. Hmm. I'd never thought about that before. That's interesting.
yeah, I'd have to look and try and find the studies, but yeah, it's just a very interesting aspect of that. Anyway, Asagi gets interested in the cocktails and the making of cocktails. So Uji's like, sure, I'll fucking teach you. Granted, she doesn't say that. She's just very brusque, like, hey, come to my house. Hey, take off most of your clothes and go into my bathroom. And then she just
You get
brings,
a rare shot of Fuji in like shorts and a fucking tank top.
yeah,
Pretty lady. I am gay.
yeah. Yeah, pretty lady, I am gay, Fuji is kind of that relaxing presence I probably would like.
I know I've said it before, but I like all three of the girls. They're all like all three of them are awesome.
Oh yeah, they're all interesting. I think Suo would actually be intimidating to me. But that's me specifically.
I would be asking Suo for like how do like what kind of suit do I wear?
Oh yeah,
Which
like
one would fit best on me? And I think she would have some really good advice.
yeah, like I could picture fashion advice and like having a conversation, but I'd be like, please direct the Riz somewhere else.
See, like I take that shit as a challenge personally. Like whenever someone tries to like start like overwhelming me with like flirtatious shit, I'm just like, okay, that's how we're doing it. All right, let me hit you back with some shit.
I am a tongue-tied autistic slime.
That's fair. I am an eldritch creature and I seduce people to power. All right.
Yeah, so Suo might be a little much
Sometimes other
for
kinds of seduction too.
yeah.
Sometimes.
Suo might be a bit too much for my speed. But the other two definitely I could work with that. Not so much the like haughty businessman like persona they try to stick Kohaku into. But that
Yes. She gets stuck with that one specifically because like all the other ones are really goddamn weird.
yeah, exactly. The other ones are just like a chuny and shit.
Which no thanks. I'd rather the haughty CEO that she's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Wrong haughty. Damn it. Caption her. No. I mean, she is
Haughty.
hot, but like, that's not.
Nope. Even saying it weird didn't. Anyway,
Fucking homophones.
Yep. So there's all that with learning how to do cocktails, which means they did kind of just drink until they passed out.
Which is hilarious. Of course, like, Fuji is just like, oh, this is awful every time she takes one of them.
Yeah.
But she drinks it anyway.
And then rounding out
It's
the
like,
episode.
mood girl, I'd do the same.
Rounding out the episode, because we kind of bounced between that and dealing with the Suo, Tokiwa, and the college girl misunderstandings. And then
there's also fucking Hagi's sister fucking shit up again.
Yeah, Hagi's sister fucking shit up. Where it's more her fault this time rather than.
Oh yeah, like the last time was just like Kohaku jumping to conclusions, but this time it's actually her fault.
Yeah, because she gets drunk going to a pub with her brother, and it's like, hey, tell me about them. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a boy you're interested in. Tell me what he's in. Tell me what he's like. He's cute. Good for you.
Yeah, which is actually just casually casual affirmation and normalization, which I really like a lot.
Yeah, casual affirmation. But then, while she's drunk and Hagi has to go do something, I forget what it was.
Yeah, he had to go back into pay while she like tried not to vomit on the sidewalk.
Yeah, so she spots Kohaku and goes to bother her, you know, because she's smashed. And in her drunken ramblings, he talks about she talks about Hagi liking cute petite girls. That being,
which is questionable. Like, does he actually like that, or does he think he likes that?
Yeah, because he's discovered some things about himself. Primarily that it matters a lot more the person he's hearing it from rather than what he reads them as.
Yeah. Which I was actually slightly worried about this show, like if it was going to do the typical Japanese thing and like reinforce some weird gender role shit. So like I'm very happy to see that Hagi is more interested in the person Kohaku rather than the woman Kohaku.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, like,
and then of course like his sister being like it does like basically just like not even bringing up that it like that she doesn't care if it's a man or a woman that he's interested in. If he's interested in someone, she wants to know about them.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get with them. I want to know who you have a crush on.
Yeah.
Because you are that obvious, yes. It is kind of kind of a miracle.
Like, Hagi is the most obvious of the of all six of them. Like the six of the main cast, Hagi is the most obvious of him just like freaking out constantly.
Yes, he is having an awakening of some sort. He is discovering some things about himself. So, we end the episode with Kohaku being a bit despondent because, well, that's the opposite of what she sees herself as.
And it's also true. She's not petite. She's not the classical image of cute. I think she's cute. But...
Oh, yeah, she's fucking adorable. But not in the traditional sense, especially because, blonde hair is connected to delinquency and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and she's also not much shorter than Hagi is, so she's definitely not petite either.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't remember, but she might actually be the same height as him, or
Either way, it's just Man, that sucks. I hope this goes okay for you, but didn't we just get over some problems, damn it? Granted, I mean, sometimes getting in a relationship is bumpy, especially with big personalities, but come on, we just dealt with your shit. Communicate with people, please. If if you're concerned about something, say it. You still with
So
us?
I'm trying to find a yeah. I'm just trying to find a height comparison between Hagi and Kohaku.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, so
I know that Suwa was like half a head shorter than Tokiwa, and then Fuji is taller than Asagi, but I don't remember the other two. You two actually like stand next to each other at some point, you little shits. Please. Yeah, they're about the same height. Okay. I finally got a shot of them standing next to each other, like during the rain sequence when she borrowed his jacket.
yeah,
She's like barely shorter than him.
but yeah, now I remembered what I wanted to say earlier. Yeah, none of these three women seem to be compelled to like abandon what appearances they like to have.
Yeah, which is good.
Like,
Please, Kohaku, do not have a crisis about this. Just
well,
I mean, have a crisis about it, but only in like romantically, right? Have a crisis about him not being interested in you, not have a crisis about your own self-image, please.
yeah, please just have it be like, oh, I want to be interesting to him. And then realizing, no, he is actually interested into you. His sister was just fucking drunk.
Yeah, it's like if one of my friends got drunk and like was talking to a girl that I was chatting up and said that like, oh yeah, Cat likes goth girls, and then like that girl wasn't goth.
Yeah, like,
That's not the only thing I like. That's just the thing that I talk about a lot because I'm goth. All right.
yeah, there is a distinct difference. I like a lot of, like, just, get that song, girls.
Yeah, like if someone, whenever someone asks me, "Hey, what's your type?" Like, there's the meme of just like literally every girl in existence pops through my head. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have one.
Yeah, it is
Women,
literally,
women is my type.
it is literally that Joe Cat meme.
I like girls. All right, all
Grant,
girls, all of them.
Granted, in my particular case, I am pansexual. Cat is more into the women's.
Yes. Although Trig did come up with a funny way to say this, or to say this particular sentiment several years ago. He called himself distressingly heterosexual. It's like, yeah, okay, just like that. That's exactly it. It's like, I wish I wasn't only interested in women, but I am only interested in women, sadly. Do you know how many great butts I'm missing out on? God damn it.
It is true. I get all the butts. You only get like half
Like
the butts.
52% or whatever.
Yeah, like
Whatever it is.
yeah,
Damn
like
it.
like you get like 52% of the butt if we also include like NBs, maybe 51%.
No, like there's actually a disparity between like the proportion of AMAB versus AFAB on the planet. It's slightly in favor of women.
Huh. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's by like half a percentage or 1 percentage point. I don't remember which, but there is actually a disparity. This, despite the one-child policy in China. I can only imagine that the disparity would be even more if China didn't have the one-child policy for a couple decades there. And to clarify on that one, for anyone wondering, it's not just the one-child policy that happened for. It's because of the specific culture around having daughters instead of sons,
Yeah.
and like who could like potentially. It's basically like patriarchy is a thing. It's like that only sons could do the job, so they like everyone wanted a son, so that they could like have the son inherit the business instead of like letting like
Yeah.
women inherit.
And South Korea has a 2-child policy. Or had one. I don't know if it's still present.
Yeah, it's like some shit like that. But so like I brought up China specifically because China has a fuckload of people.
Yeah, like it's, talking geopolitics for a minute. Of course, China is going to surpass the US if we don't innovate because they are innovating and they have a larger population than us.
And a pretty sizable actually like country space too, like physical size.
Oh yeah, they can expand out by a lot and
And
become
they've got a lot of resources in all that land. For
Yep.
obvious reasons. Because it's not fucking Siberia. It's actually a place that's actually livable.
Yep. Yeah.
Although I'm sure Siberia also has like a shit ton of resources. It's just like you don't want to try and get at them because you'll fucking freeze to death.
Yeah, to be honest though, we do have more than enough space like worldwide for like fucking double the population we have.
Yeah, which that's something that like a lot of people like are weirdly freaking out about. We don't have to worry about overpopulation. Believe me. Like,
Yeah.
our current technology, with our current technology, Earth can support like 14 billion people. No problem.
Yeah. And overpopulation of a current problem has been a myth since at least the ancient Greeks and has mostly been used to advocate for abandoning, if not just outright mistreating, the poor.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like if you think that there's okay, so generally speaking, if there is something that you are scared of that is like apocalyptic in proportion, if you trace it back, it's probably class warfare.
Yep.
Like the only thing that's not is like fucking like Yellowstone going pop, and that's not going to happen for several 100,000 years.
Yeah.
Because you know what I found out the other day? There's actually ways that we're considering to tap into the geothermal heat of Yellowstone that will delay a super volcanic eruption from Yellowstone ostensibly permanently.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, there's geothermal like things that people are researching that could potentially just like keep Yellowstone from ever going pop again, provided like those geothermal plants and vents actually like continue to function and are maintained.
Yeah.
But yeah, like generally speaking, like these apocalyptic scenarios that you're thinking about, this is class warfare. That's all it is.
Yeah. If you're talking
A disease rampaging throughout the entire country, well, we already saw that, and you saw that mostly poor people died.
Yeah. And in general, if somebody who's educated on the subject is talking about population, but they're not talking about consumption, they just hate poor people. Now, I'm not saying that necessarily you at home believe that way, because you might not know. But now you do.
Yeah, which that's like a huge thing. By the way, rich people consume far more than poor people do. Like proportionally.
Absolutely.
I don't remember the exact proportion, but it's somewhere along the lines of 2 to 4 times as much as the average poor person.
Yeah, private jets.
Not just that, but I mean like food waste and shit like that.
Yeah.
Poor people don't throw out food until it's actually rotten.
Yeah.
Believe me, I know.
Yeah, private jets, food, all sorts of things, all sorts of
larger
waste.
houses.
Larger houses, the fucking McMansion kind of trend.
Because like those larger houses take more energy to heat and light and maintain when they're not actually using most of it either. Like there's so much that goes into it that like rich people waste so much more resources in general than poor people do.
Yeah, exactly. They are far more wasteful, but it's far more expensive to be poor because you have to buy things that don't last.
Yeah, like the only time I ever throw out food is when it makes me sick or it's literally rotten and I could see that it's rotten.
Yeah, if I see mold, then it goes in the trash.
Yeah, because that'll just fucking kill me, right? Like,
Yeah, or if it's so far past the expiration date, I'm not going to trust it.
I don't know. Like sometimes I even still use that, right? Like I had a half gallon of milk in the fridge that had the expiration date as like October 14th, and I used the last of it the other day on I think it was macaroni and cheese.
Fair enough.
It's fucking fine. Like I'm lactose intolerant, and it didn't bother me either. So like you know that it was actually fine.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, I'm only moderately lactose intolerant. Not everything makes me fucking explode, but some
Yeah.
things do.
Yeah,
Like if
that's
I
a,
just drink straight milk or a milkshake, then that'll do it. But if I'm eating like macaroni and cheese, generally it doesn't.
yeah.
Also, I can eat an entire pint of ice cream in a day and be fine. So there's that too.
Yeah, lactose intolerance is very much on the scale of meh, kind of discomforting, to, oh gods, the apocalypse has descended upon my bowels.
Yeah. But like speaking to the fucking like the rotten food thing, right? Like I have bananas in my fucking freezer right now, that are so far gone that you wouldn't actually eat them as they are. But what instead is going to happen is we're going to mash them the fuck up and make banana bread with them because they're on the edge of being rotten and not actually rotten.
The one,
So it'll be fine.
the one person
Poor people don't
actually,
throw food away.
the one person actually making banana bread and going through with it.
Damn right, dude. I fucking love banana bread. As long as it's not banana nut bread.
See, I actually like banana nut bread.
Well, okay. I don't like most nuts in general. Like I just don't like their taste. But also my teeth are completely fucked, so I can't chew them.
Yeah, I haven't had banana nut bread since uh, some of my health problems, so maybe I would have a different opinion now. But either way, banana
It's the
nut.
same reason why I don't really eat steak anymore, right? Like I can't chew it because it fucks up my teeth even more than they already are.
Yeah, banana nut bread. Like banana upside down cake.
It's like the two nuts that I actually really like. I guess three, although two of them aren't really nuts. They're like seeds, but close to fuck enough. Are pistachios, cashews, and sunflower seeds. Like I will suffer through like my fucked up teeth for those three things, but nothing else. Nothing else even comes close. I fucking hate almonds. I don't like pecans. I'm probably allergic to actual pecans anyway.
Yeah. I certainly wouldn't trust it in your position.
Yeah. It's like the reason why I never noticed that I was like fucking allergic to pecans before is because like I fucking hate them, so I never ate them. Like I hate pecan sandies. I hate like pecan pie. All of it. It all sucks. So I don't eat it. But yeah, I'm pretty open about my teeth being fucked up. And like I was thinking the other day, like I wouldn't normally describe myself as sickly as a child, but like when you have that many migraines and you're vomiting that often, yeah, I kind of was sickly, right? It's just not the classical image of being sickly. I mean, it's still like very active. It's just like on days where I had migraines and they were common, I just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Stereotypes don't give you the full picture of what the vast spectrum of a lived experience can be.
Yeah, like I, technically speaking, yeah, I fit the definition of a sickly child when I was, like fucking 10. But I also never actually got sick. I never got ill with anything, never infected by any bullshit. I've never had the flu as far as I know. I've only had one or two colds my entire life. The one infection that I actually did have was a bronchitis thing. It was an upper respiratory infection that caused bronchitis for like 3 years straight.
Yeah.
which
I was
I don't know if I
not
told
that
that story
lucky.
before, but like that shit went away as soon as I started smoking. Like the smoke just killed the bacterial infection that like the fucking antibiotics couldn't touch. It's like, all right, cool, I guess.
I guess at least a partial side benefit to the lung damage.
Yeah, so I think that's why I don't really consider myself to have damaged lungs from smoking so far, is because I'm comparing it to like when I was a little kid and I had fucking bronchitis.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I was not that lucky to not be sick. I've definitely had a bad flu before. I got the chicken pox really bad as a child.
I know I've had the chicken pox before because I have like some of the pox marks, the pox scars.
Hmm.
I've only got like one or two, but I do have them. So like I know that I had it at one point. I just don't remember it at all. So I was probably like two or whatever when I had it.
Yeah, I very much remember it because it was head to toe.
Let's see. I don't even know if I can find. Yeah, okay, right here. Got one on my sternum, like right in the middle. I'm sure I've got another one somewhere, but I don't remember where it is. Oh, there's a second one. It's also on my chest.
Fair enough.
It's like on my like roughly bust line,
Hmm.
and that's it. That's all that I've got. Oh
Yeah, I
wait,
don't.
no. I have one on the back of my leg too. I don't remember which one. There's one on one of my calves.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any like remaining pock marks that are really obvious, but I got them head to toe when I was a kid.
Oh no, like none of my scars are very obvious. Since I can't tan at all because like my father is Irish. Fuck me, right?
Yeah,
My scars are literally usually darker than the rest of my skin rather than lighter.
fair enough. Um, but yeah, anyway, and then a couple years ago, uh, I got COVID on Christmas. We're vaccinated and, had all our boosters and everything, but yeah, we were stuck at home.
Dude, that's something I gotta check. Are like my vaccinations covered by my fucking state medical care now?
They should be. They
Yeah,
should be
it's just
covered.
different from state to state, right? Like I just gotta check. I gotta
Yeah.
call someone and check. It's like, hey, is the flu and like COVID vaccines covered by this? Because I can't afford to actually like pay for it, but I do need them just to make sure.
Yeah, generally speaking, Medicaid and Medicare cover a lot of those. A lot of your local pharmacies will do flu shots for free anyway. But you'll have to see about COVID because, for all I know, uh, New Mexico is actually a hellscape even worse than Ohio, which sounds astounding to my brain.
Well, it's actually a pretty blue state for the most part. It's just like this one spot that I'm in because it's a small oil town.
Yeah. Granted, that's not a city decision, that's a state decision, so you might be pretty
Yeah,
good.
because like as far as I know, like New Mexico's got good, relatively progressive laws for the states. It's just that as I said last time, I have a neighbor who has a thin blue line Punisher skull on the back of his truck. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very unfortunate because also you can't tell who's just signaling to the base and who would actually like to take a crack at your skull. You have to assume everybody's an opponent, like a potential threat, if they've got something
Yeah,
like that.
which fucking sucks.
Yeah. So, if you have no intention of ever harming a trans person, granted, I don't know if you'd be listening this far into the video, but, just in case, if you have no one, like, if you're just somebody who's conservative, like, I'm not going to say you're my friend, but also, if you just have no intention of harming a trans person, I would suggest against a drum pad, a thin blue line sticker, whatever, because you're signaling to trans people that you are an unsafe person, and they will try and avoid you like the plague.
Just like sidebar though, while I was thinking about my scars, I've got this one on my left shoulder that I literally can't feel.
Hmm.
Like I can't even feel pressure or anything. Like I'm pressing on it right now and like scraping my nail across and everything. I just cannot feel it.
Interesting.
So I have had nerve damage right here in this one tiny specific spot for like 20 some odd years. I don't even remember getting this scar, so I probably got it when I was fucking like 6 or some shit.
Interesting.
It's like a small oval scar. It's probably from a vaccination that like had a particularly large needle or something when I was very young.
Yeah, that's fair. I was very happy that because I got a tetanus shot here recently ish, back when I had the vaccinations like a couple weeks ago at this
Yeah,
point.
they don't do the fucking 13 needles in the fucking navel anymore, do they?
Thank gods, no. It was just a slightly bigger needle than usual.
Okay, that's good because like that's something that's always like given me anxiety. Even me, like even I think that like 13 needles in the navel sounds like fucking hell.
Yeah, that sounds bad. I also wasn't looking forward to the possibility of a needle in the butt. But no, it was in the arm. It was just a slightly longer needle. Hurt a little bit more, but not a lot. I was worried it was going to hurt a lot. And yeah, the arm was a little bit more sore as it settled in. But as long as you follow the advice and keep moving your arm throughout the day.
Give you a different kind of soreness. Fucking muscle soreness instead of from the goddamn needle.
Yeah, but it specific.
Actually, the only vaccination that I remember getting was a butt shot. I don't remember what vaccination it was.
Yeah, basically, I had my required vaccinations as a child and didn't have any more until I was an adult.
Yeah, so same for me, literally. I haven't had any since I was like fucking 12
Yeah.
because I just can't afford them.
Yep.
Like the one time so during COVID when they were still free, I wanted to go get the vaccination just in case, right? And I tried to plan it that way, but like I told my housemates, like, hey, whenever you set yours up, let me know so I can set mine up too, and we can just take one trip together. And then they just fucking didn't. They just didn't let me know. They just left one day and came back. Just like, oh yeah, I got my vaccination. It's like, fuck you too. Like, how the hell am I supposed to get to a place for it? I can't walk there. I can't drive there. I need your help for this. Let me know. And then they just didn't. They just
Yeah.
didn't do it. So I
Yeah.
haven't been vaccinated for COVID yet, which pisses me off.
Yeah. Well, I guess on the safe side, at least you're not prone to want to be anywhere near your fucking housemate and don't meet anybody else.
Yeah, like whenever I literally always leave my house with a mask on, like that's just like
That's just a
that's
comfort
something I
thing at
do
this
anyway.
point.
Yeah. So I don't know if I told this on stream, but when COVID was happening, I was already thinking about getting a mask to help me with my allergies anyway, because I have really bad allergies. Uh, so like whenever it happened, I was like, oh hell yeah, and fucking like a social reason, like a socially acceptable reason for me to wear a mask in public. Fuck yeah! And then it actually got like really bad, and then I was like, oh fuck, not hell yeah.
Yeah, not hell yeah.
It's just like hee hee, not hee hee.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, that's the other thing with the health thing. Hopefully they can help you with transportation as well.
Yeah, hopefully I'll fucking I might have to sign up for the fucking care coordinator shit so I can get that to happen.
Yeah, get that to happen because at least for my state, they'll get you like an Uber even, or some smaller company that's easier to contract with.
Yeah, that would be very helpful. Uh, But anyway, let's talk about vampires. So I just like vampires. Let's talk about that.
Fair enough.
It's also like slightly related because in some fiction, vampires are a metaphor for disease.
Yeah, it's true. They can be disease, they can be sin, they can be dirty
It's just about
secrets.
anything, really.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like there's the corruption of nobility, which is where Bram Stoker came from. That's how he did his with Dracula. There's the queer shit, which is what a lot of people do these days, and also Carmilla.
Yeah, yeah.
There's like disease, which I don't remember a famous story off the top of my head, but there was one that used tuberculosis. There we go.
Yeah. And there's been some connection to like ghouls and zombies and shit to some extent.
Yeah, I just mean like what the theming is, right? Like vampirism as a disease, vampirism as sin, vampirism as um the decadence of nobility, that sort of thing. Rather than what their actual lore connections are. Like in Vampire the Masquerade, I would consider it to be not a disease or the decadence of nobility, but it's like basically sin, in this
Yeah,
case. Because there's like a literal humanity stat you can track.
yeah, I think it's a little bit of that and also uh kind of the degradation of being in a capitalist society.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like you to
Sin
be
and classism.
yeah, to be successful in capitalism, you do kind of have to give up some of your humanity. To what extent depends on what you're doing and how much you want.
Yeah, maybe that's the angle I'll take mine with. Because I've been trying to like think about this for a few weeks. Before ever since I got that fucking writing prompt done.
Yeah,
Because
because
like at first it was just like I just want to do this because I want to do it.
yeah,
But now that I'm actually like building it out into an actual like story, kind of, I'm like, okay, well, what what kind of like metaphors do I need to be using here?
yeah. To talk about more Vampire the Masquerade, uh, it very much maps on. You've got the old money who got to define where the rules were and when the rules were, including
Yeah, the Camarilla.
yeah, the Camarilla, including letting Clan Giovanni get away with diablerizing the Salubri. And then they made the Diablerie rule. But not before, or they at least
Yeah,
let
imagine
them get
getting
away
fucking
with it.
grandfathered into that. God damn.
Yeah, they got away with it, and they were able to basically ascend that clan quite a bit.
I think Giovanni counts as a bloodline and not a clan, right? Because it's too small to be a full clan.
It
I,
depends
I
on
don't
which.
remember. I don't remember the exact like line there for
Yeah, it
all
depends
that.
on which book you're looking at, basically.
Which is fair because that shit does sort of change in the meta plot as the world progresses, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like Giovanni kind of gets roped into other necromancers in the new one. So they're more of a bloodline in that.
And for everyone wondering, the difference between a clan and a bloodline is mostly like how big they are, how influential, and how different their disciplines are.
Yeah, it's cult versus religion.
Yeah, except for in this case, like you inherit it and you can't change it.
Yeah.
The
Well,
only ones that can change it are thin bloods.
yeah, granted, yeah, you can't change which religion you're in, yeah. In this case, in this metaphor. I was thinking about what you were saying for a second because I thought it meant like you can't change the clan size, but no, like that you absolutely can do that.
No. You can't change your clan personally. It's like literally in your blood.
Yeah, it is absolutely in your blood.
Thin Bloods can, but that's because Thin Bloods don't have a clan at all. So like they just drink from a particular dude and like absorb their clan into theirs.
Yeah. And they also engage in alchemy.
Yeah, like blood alchemy or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah. But yeah, basically,
Which is how Thin Bloods actually come up with new disciplines. Normally, only elders can do that, but Thin Bloods can too because their vitae is so thin that they could just like adapt and change.
yep.
So they can just like combine disciplines into new ones.
Yeah, which actually makes them considered a danger despite their otherwise weaker constitution.
Yeah. Thin Bloods are so weak for the most part that some of them can even sire actual children. Like they can actually have just like normal kids.
Semi-normal. Like
Yeah, well, yeah, semi-normal. I'm sure that they'll still be like slightly vampiric, but
yeah, yeah, so in the newer books, they are grouped in with kind of a Southern Baptist style necromancy cult.
gross.
Like I'm saying Southern Baptist more for the theming than the actual like religion.
Still gross.
Fair enough, but I'm just letting you know it's not actually Catholicism. At least not any more than Vampire the Masquerade already is.
Yeah, which that is something that bothers me about Vampire the Masquerade. It just like implicitly says that the Abrahamic God is the real one because Cain is an actual figure and not just like a mystery figure far in the past. He's actually real.
Yeah, because they do have the end of the fucking world.
Although that's supposed to be done by like his children, not him himself. Which is kind of funny to me. Is like, what is Cain doing during all this? Why doesn't he like discipline his kids?
Yeah.
Because like if I was Cain, I would be. He's like, hey, don't do that. We need those. That's food.
Yeah. Let's see.
But granted, with how powerful the antediluvians are, like even he might not be able to do much against like all of them at once, right? Because like if you have 20 generation fours fighting one generation three, the generation fours are probably gonna win. A couple of them might meet their final death, but like they're probably gonna win.
Yeah, let's see here.
So like for my setting, I decided that the Dark Mother is like not around anymore. Or at the very least, she's not roaming around the world like Cain is, right?
Yeah.
Because like that's just like a plot device waiting to happen. That's a Deus Ex Machina if I've ever fucking heard one.
Yeah.
It's having a near godlike vampire just fucking like waiting in the wings to solve problems or cause them. Like nah, no thank you. And that's why I also got rid of the second generation, the third generation, the second and third generations. I just completely got rid of them. They just don't exist anymore or are in torpor.
Oh,
So
actually,
they're
I
just not
was
there.
wrong. They are not in the kind of Southern Baptist themed clan or group of clan. Actually, the Setites are in the kind of Baptist-ish. The ministry is what they're called.
I actually based a clan for my work on the Giovannis.
Yeah, let's see.
Find them real quick.
Yeah, the Clan of Faith, Setites, followers of Set.
Yeah, here we go. Damtara. Their clan gift is blood necromancy. They may raise corpses as mindless undead using a few drops of blood. The same way that the Giovanni do it.
Yep. So the Giovanni are part of the Hecata.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's been a while, and I don't really pay attention much to what White Wolf does anymore because they just don't deserve it. So
yeah. So basically they unified under a bunch of necromantic clans unified under one banner, as a lot of their elders were just kind of taken out.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's like, yeah, we kind of got a similar system going. Let's all pursue necromancy together. Because otherwise, we're kind of fucked.
Yeah, for my clans, I pulled from all over like modern vampire fiction. It was like World of Darkness, Castlevania, the anime. I actually pulled a lot from Darkest Dungeon as well. Not specifically the vampires in Darkest Dungeon, but more the characters themselves. I based each of the bloodlines on a specific hero that you could get. Like every single one has a progenitor that is one of those heroes. Like, let's see.
Yeah, let's see. The La Familia Giovanni, the bankers of Duncern.
Yeah, the Ahuan are the clan of the Abomination, for example. And then like, where's the man at arms? Well, okay, I've got the Azbaela, which is the Flagellant. Where's the man at arms? Which one are you? Shieldbreaker, Antiquarian. Here's the Jester.
Children of Tenochtitlan?
Oh, actually, I based the Kata Inn on the Man at Arms, and specifically the version of the Man at Arms that is in Darkest Dungeon 2. Because the Man at Arms in Darkest Dungeon 2 is semi-related to the Dreaming General. Their clan gift is to use vines. They have vine control.
Yeah, I remember you making that. And then the other clan that people would know from the older ones is Clan Samedi.
I'm pretty sure that's pronounced Samdi.
Oh yeah, that's right, Baron Samdi. Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
It's late for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's been a while since I've seen that out loud.
One of the ones that I based on Castlevania is the Belusine, the Crusader bloodline, which is they have the weapons expertise. And the whole reason I did this for the Gift and the Banes for the Belusine is they have the weapons expertise, so they're all really good with combat like skills. All their combat skills are really high. They get set to, in AWRPG terms, they get set to 3 pips in every combat skill: melee, ranged, evasion, all of it. And then their bane is that sunlight is deadly, and fledglings in the sun will burn up in a matter of minutes, like turn to ash. And I did that specifically because I saw that scene in Castlevania where that one vampire, I can't remember her name, but it's the big warrior vampire that's gay for the other vampire, fights on the battlefield in a suit of armor with the gaps of the armor covered in colored glass, in painted glass. And I wanted that to be a thing, so I did that. It's the weakest clan by far because their bane is really goddamn bad, and their gift is really goddamn bad too. But I wanted that to be a thing, so I did it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Thankfully, in this setting here, you don't even have to diabolarize someone else to get their clan gift. So you can make up for it by being really goddamn strong in the beginning and just like fighting other fledglings until you get their gifts. Or even just making deals with other vampires to be like, hey, I'll be your bodyguard if you let me drink you a little bit. Just stuff on you.
Yeah.
You know?
My favorite clan from the new books is the Judges of the Banu Hakim.
That sounds familiar, but I don't know off the top of my head what their disciplines are.
Let me see. What are their disciplines? Disciplines are blood sorcery, celerity, and obfuscate.
You have blood sorcery? That's usually like Tremere.
Yeah, let's see. Used to poison their blades and use their blood as a weapon against others, as well as sift out the truth in blood.
So in the new one, is the Tremere's blood magic also called blood sorcery? Is
Let
it the
me
same? Is it the same discipline?
check here.
Because as far as I knew in Old World of Darkness, the Tremeres were the only ones with blood sorcery,
Yeah, let me
specifically
see.
because they were mages before being turned.
Yeah, I do know about that. Let's see. Disciplines. Yep, it's called blood sorcery in both.
Oh fuck, dude, that's pretty good.
Let me see.
So, for people who are uninitiated in the world of darkness, the clan disciplines are not unique to each clan necessarily.
But
It's
blood
their
sorcery
combination of disciplines.
was for quite a while.
Yeah, blood sorcery was, and the reason why they had blood magic specifically was because that they were mages before that they were turned, like the original. Um, when the Tremere clan became a clan at all was because some mages were turned and they found a way to use blood magic. They found a way to use magic despite being vampires who are normally cut off from magic.
But yeah, they are stern adjudicators with a thirst for other vampires' blood.
That's fair because, at least if I recall correctly, in World of Darkness, vampires do not have to eat humans. They can eat other vampires too.
Yeah, let's
Which I
see.
think is cool shit.
Their bane is blood addiction. When the Banu Hakim slakes at least one hunger level from another vampire, they must make a hunger frenzy test at difficulty 2, plus bane severity. If they fail,
That's not a particularly bad test. That's a pretty easy to
yeah.
win.
But if they fail, they must gorge themselves.
Which may result in diablerie. Interesting.
Yup.
They might just accidentally a diablerie.
They might accidentally a diablerie.
Wow, that's fucked.
Yeah.
That does give me an idea for a Bane though, because I have more base clans than World of Darkness does. Weirdly enough, because I got like 17 or 18, which is more than like the standard like 12 or 13 that World of Darkness originally had. Also, give me another capture link.
Yeah, sure. Let me see. Oh. But yes, they don't have a specific code necessarily, like between all the Banu Hakim, but they do adhere to some sort of code. Let me see. They are largely related to the Camarilla, which makes sense because they are kind of still the Law and Order crowd. Their other bane, if they don't have blood addiction, their variant is noxious blood. The blood of the Banu Hakim is toxic to mortals, but not to other vampires. Due to this, mortals receive aggravated damage equal to the bane severity of the vampire.
Brutal.
For each rouse check's worth of blood consumed. Their blood cannot be used to heal mortal injuries, and amounts below the amount needed to blood bond. It does not harm them, even if directly injected into them, though. So it has to be a substantial amount. And their compulsion is judgment, urged to punish a wrongdoer.
All right. Question. Is that kind of Bane the one for the
Noxious
The blood
Blood?
addiction one.
Or the Blood
No,
Addiction, yeah.
Noxious Blood I already have.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Which one was it? I don't remember.
With the Blood Addiction?
Yeah, is the blood addiction more fitting for bounty hunter, the bounty hunter bloodline, which has the gift of mirror hunting, which is may track prey through mirrors, higher levels allow for like teleportation through mirrors, or is it more fitting for Houndmaster, who has communication, telepathic communication with animals?
I think the mirror hunting.
Okay, let's see. Let's take a.
And yeah, their compulsion.
Phrase it like it's part of.
Yeah. Yeah, their compulsion, judgment, urge to punish a wrongdoer, the vampire must slake one hunger from anyone that acts against their own convictions. Failing to do so results in a 3 dice penalty to all rolls until the compulsion is satisfied or the scene ends.
Okay. Secondary question. Should I have should this blood addiction bane be transferable? Because some of the banes for these clans are transferable. Like whenever you get the gift, you also get the bane.
Yeah, I think if you get the gift from one of these vampires, regardless of anything else, you do also get that bane.
Okay, because for example, what I mean by this is the abomination, for example. The abomination bloodline has the clan gift of monster shifting. It basically allows you to turn into a werewolf if you want to. And their bane is that they may not use any clan gift in direct sunlight, regardless of whether it's their own bloodline gift or a gift they got from someone else by eating them. And the bane transferal is partial in that the clan gift of the Ahuan cannot be used in direct sunlight, no matter who has that gift, whether they're Ahuan or not. And then a total transferal of banes is, let me find one. Here we go. The Kirisa, which is the leper bloodline, has dead man's blood. Their blood counts as that of a dead man, including for clan banes, and is lethal to mortals. The bane transferal is total. So, like, if you have the decaying blood clan gift, you also have dead man's blood as the bane, because it's part and parcel with the gift itself. The gift itself is decaying blood. Blood causes rapid decay of whatever it touches. It's basically like necrotizing acid, which is hence why it's a total transferal of the bane. So I had to come up with some way to like make these clans have interesting upsides and downsides. But I also didn't want literally like if someone had every bane or every gift in existence, I didn't want them to have like every bane in existence too, because some of these would fuck you up real good.
Oh, so the Banu Hakim, their Methuselah woke the fuck up.
Does it say Methuselah or antediluvium?
Methuselah.
Interesting, because a Methuselah is any vampire that's been around for more than 1,000 years. That's what the word Methuselah even means in the first place. Because, like, Methuselah is the name of a biblical figure who lived to be like 990 or something like that. So, if you are a Methuselah, that means you're about 1,000 years old or older.
Yeah, so the Methuselah woke the fuck up and went, wait, you're following human religions and you're not engaging in blood rituals? No. You're apostates, go back to the old ways. And the sensible members of the Banu Hakim just hit the bricks, but the ones who remained became the shepherds of Urul Shulgi.
see. Methuselah. Okay, so he's fifth or fourth generation. All right, so he's not an antediluvian.
Yeah, not an antediluvian. Just
Good, because that would have been like a sign of Gehenna.
Yeah,
if he woke up.
Nope, just a progenitor of some of the clans that weren't put forward by antediluvians. So it seems that the Tremere weren't the only ones engaging in blood magic.
Interesting.
And there's just this Middle Eastern group that has existed for quite some time. We're very isolationist for a while there. But once their Methuselah kind of woke up, they went, oh, fuck, we can't stay here. Because this fucker
It's interesting that, like... It's interesting that this guy is called a specific Methuselah of the clan, because normally clans have more than one Methuselah, right?
Yeah, let me see here.
And he's not the progenitor of the clan either, because the progenitor of the clan is in the clan name. It's Hakim. See, I didn't know about this one because I'm used to Old World of Darkness, not New World of Darkness.
Yeah. Yeah, let me see here, but looking more into the Banu Hakim. For a long time, they kept themselves removed from kindred society. Somewhere in Afghanistan, the children of Hakim hide within a base called Alamut. However, this base of operation has fallen to blood cultists, the followers of the now awakened Methuselah Shulgi. I kept trying to say Earl like my name is Earl. Who prepared to deliver judgment upon their kin, known as the Shepherds of Shulgi. These cultists are separate from the Islamic warriors and viziers embraced long after the clan abandoned their blood worship. Sensible Hakimites are thus pushed to flee their old home. The majority of them have joined the Ashira, a local kindred sect, while the rest seek asylum in the western counterpart, the Camarilla.
Interesting. Anyhow, fuck White Wolf. All my homies hate White Wolf.
Yeah, but, I will jack anything I please from your settings.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I jacked the entire idea of a dark father, dark mother progenitor of the vampire species.
Yep.
So I really liked that idea, but I didn't like it being tied explicitly to biblical mythology by way of being Cain, right?
Yeah,
And
which
here's
fair.
a spoiler for you and only you, and whoever happens to watch the VOD or,
This far in, yeah.
Yeah. The dark mother of this setting is Gwyneth.
Oh, yeah. I kind of figured that would end up being the case.
Yeah, it's if you know Gwyneth's story at all, and then you read the vampire interview that I did, like it becomes very obvious that it's Gwyneth, but only if you also know Gwyneth's story. Because like the vampire elder that I used there explicitly mentions that the vampires, the lower your generation number, the more memories of the Dark Mothers you have, and she remembers the big old war crime that sparked the genocide in AWRPG that or in Well of Souls that Gwyneth perpetuated. So, and she like describes it the same way that I usually describe it to people. It's like a rainstorm, but every drop of rain is a bolt of lightning instead. As an entire city turned to jagged glass in just like a heartbeat. It's just like, oh yeah, that's Gwyneth. But like that's gonna be some obscure Gwyneth lore. I only talk about it to you guys because you're helping me build the story and the setting anyhow.
Yeah. Definitely fair. But yeah, so looking into Hakim was a warrior hunter who, after being embraced, made havens in both the first and second cities, promoting neutrality amongst bickering kindred brethren.
That is also, by the way, where the second generation went in this setting. Is they just left the goddamn place with Gwyneth. They just they came and they spread their bloodline to develop it further, and then just left. Just went back to Well of Souls.
Yeah,
modern vampires think that they all killed each other, but nope, they just left. They're just gone.
Yeah, Hakim was mainly known for forming the Assamite out of 3 divisions: scholars, warriors, and magi. Were originally used to fight in the Bali conflict.
There's some overlap with scholar and magi. Linguistically, I mean.
Yeah, linguistically.
But on the other hand, it's also just sort of it's more like judge, but a magus or magus, however the fuck you want to pronounce it in that language, is also a scholar. So it's sort of like saying bard and druid.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. Kinda, sorta,
but one's more interested in history, I would imagine, when we're talking about this kind of scholar, or like documenting things, versus a mage who's actually like, this is probably where eventually the blood cult-y things come in after Hakim goes to sleep.
Yeah, because magi also has priestly connotations. But that's because at the time when this word was made and used, they were judges and priests, right? Like the priests were the judges were the priests, sort of deal.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the word hierarch and how that has religious connotations, and it's because at the time, when that word was used a lot, the priests were at the top of the hierarchy.
Huh.
And then, in fact, is where we get hierarchy from in the first place.
Yeah, so apparently in the final nights, one of Hakim's descendants diablerizes the ventured Prince of London, Mithras.
Fucking World of Darkness, dude. God damn it. One thing that I did also steal from World of Darkness was for something entirely different. It's actually for the hunt. Is the idea of the Lucifuges.
Oh, sweet.
Which that'll be the Hunter the Vigil, for anyone who doesn't know.
Hakim raising a black throne from the earth when he went to Alamut.
It sounds like something I would do. Raise a black throne from the earth.
Yep.
Fuck yeah, dude. Did I talk to you about fuck yeah, Black Throne. Hell yeah, dude. That shit's awesome. Anyway, did I talk to you about including other types of supernatural creatures along with vampires in the setting or not?
I think you did. I think this would probably, since we're kind of in the ramble, a good place to wrap up.
That's probably a good call. Yeah, because otherwise I will talk for hours about vampires.
Yeah, and we can write
I'm not
that.
kidding when I say I'm goth. I love this shit.
Yeah, and we can write that shit down so you have it written down.
Yes, like give me all of the creepy supernatural horror thriller shit of gothic literature. Give it to me now. I love it. It's beautiful.
Absolutely. So thank you very much for joining us. If you are watching the YouTube VOD, and America's tits bless you if you've gotten this far.
America's okay. I thought you said America's tits. And I was like, what? Like the Statue of Liberty? What?
Yeah,
no, America as in like Elden Ring.
Yeah, America as in Elden Ring. It's just Captioner isn't going to get that.
Yeah, America's golden tits, bless you.
You can look at the description.
But not the porn model, the actual in-game model where she's like super hot.
Yeah.
And not pornified.
Yeah. So, description, Twitch channels, also links to both Cappy and to Moppiz, because they deserve to be shilled for their hard work.
Yes, absolutely. They're good at their jobs and deserve it.
My Twitch leads to my socials as well, which has Blue Sky and Pillow Fort, and Kat's links lead to what Kat is about to say now.
My Kara, my Twitter, and my Discord. To follow me there or join the thing, etc., as required for whichever one that you've posted on or clicked on, rather. It's just like it's a linked image. Just mouse over the image itself. There's not an actual link that you can read. It's a hyperlinked image. I don't know why people stopped using those. I will forever be upset about this.
Yep. So,
good. Yeah, I think that's it. Join the Discord and talk to me about fucking Gothic literature. Damn it.
Please, genuinely.
I need recommendations of like modern Gothic literature. Please, I need it.
So, have a good night, everyone.